Hey, hey.
Hey, what's up, man?
Oh, not too much. What's up with you?
Yeah, not a lot. Going into the server now, but I'm downloading.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm in the creative server at the moment, and it just crashed on me.
Uh,
Oh no, it didn't. Okay. I was just checking out that drop base you were working on before. That's pretty cool.
drop base.
Or yeah, drop CV base.
Oh,
It kind of looks like a base because it's kind of like a hanger with like some legs.
oh, yeah. One of the earlier attempts at the thing I got now, the shot case.
Oh, okay. Yep. I did like this one though. I thought it looked pretty cool. It looks a lot more like a base than it does a CV, but it looks like a
Yeah,
hanger sitting on the ground, which is cool. I dig that.
yeah. All right, cool. Loading in now. What's up, Thursday? KS Berg, Jeffman, RT Buko. Done. Start it.
Alrighty.
What's going on, guys? XCaliber here, and we are back. ANVIL Reforged into community server XBC Let's Play. I'm here with Jay Randall. What's up, man?
Hey, how's it going?
Not bad, not bad. So, where am I? Am in between all these drop ships.
I'm.
I see you. I see you over there. I see.
Yeah, I'm over by the space station, and right behind there is my new one here. Work in progress.
Yeah. Thing's massive, man.
It is. It is. I looked at it, sit right up next to the trebuchet. It's about the same size. It's different, little different.
Oh, okay.
Little different dimensions, but relatively the same size.
Oh, so not that big. I'm just, yeah. I just have issues.
Well, the trebuchet was a pretty good size.
It wasn't
ship,
small.
too.
No, it wasn't small, definitely. But it wasn't like super big, right? This looks super big to me, but it's because I've been using a bunch of smaller ships.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, well, right now it's chilling in at size class 5. How it sits with the blocks, but obviously it's probably gonna be like a size class 8 or 9 when it's done. I'm guessing.
Right. Lots of room for decoy shenanigans.
Oh yeah, if you go in the interior, like the actual, are you inside there somewhere?
Yeah,
I see it. Okay, so like over here, I don't even plan on starting the interior until after this thruster here. So
okay.
everything going this direction is all armor, decoys, and nothingness. Yeah, I figured this back area here is pretty good size considering there's no hangar, no farm, or anything like that. It'll have like a little crew area, with your utility stuff like a med bay, and I'll probably pop in a constructor anyway, even though I tend to not use them on CVs or combat CVs like this. But what I was trying to do with this ship is like work out its like weapon loadout. So it's embracing the new RE update rules where you can put on 8 heavy weapons.
Right.
So that's what I'm trying to do with this. So it's basically does have 8 heavy weapons here, is all in plasma.
Yeah, I literally did the same thing. I got the same strategy, 8 plasma I'm trying to do, but the CPU, man, Jesus.
Yeah, I know.
Well, what are you sitting at right now, CPU with?
It's just right now. It's a.
Oh wow, yeah, you're right there.
Yeah, it's now. Granted, I got a ton of placeholder turrets on here that are all tier 1, and it doesn't have a shield or warp drive or.
Oh, okay. Because I'm like, how are you doing better CPU than I did with mine? But I'm okay. Yeah,
no, I'm gonna have to downgrade it before I get it out. I do plan on putting this out as a Core 9 stock, but I'm gonna leave it with all its guns off. Yeah. So let people pick and choose what they want to put on it.
Right.
So in my loadout, at least on bringing it in game, I think like this first row of turrets over here, I think those are going to be like laser or the laser infrared type ones to help reduce shield. And then the other turrets back over here, depending on what I can afford, they'll probably be something that does hull damage. You know, whether they're rockets or I don't know, even more plasma. I'm not sure yet. And then obviously you got your main weapon group, which is the 8 heavies back over there. Now those 8 heavies, I'll be firing all the time because I expect them to do fairly significant shield damage too.
Yeah, sure.
So that's, and I'm not running like any like dedicated laser launchers on here for shield takedown or EMPs or any of that. So I figured I'd try it this way. I think if you had like the assist of like 5 turrets that were laser turrets in conjunction with shooting it with all this heavy plasma back there, it might take down enemy shields fairly quickly, and then you can keep on firing, and you're not like shutting down a weapon that you're not using at the time. That's what I'm doing currently on the Ridge Rat. I got those 2 heavy lasers, so I'll switch to those. I'll shoot a few times until the shield goes down, and then I'll switch over to my plasma. But if I just fire a volley of the 6 tier 2 plasmas, they do about the same amount of damage as the 2 lasers. You know, so it's just like, well, why have the lasers? Why spend all the CPU on the lasers and just the other ammo concern and all that stuff? And it's just so, yeah. And then for drone defense, it's running. I don't have them all placed yet, but there's you probably see a lot of these little retractable sentry guns all over the place. So I'm putting in like probably about 20 of them. They're really quite cheap CPU wise and all that. Really cheap ammo, of course, too. And then 4 turrets are going to be dedicated, probably minigun turrets that are going to be dedicated for drone defense in conjunction with the sentry guns. So that's going to be.
What about the sentry guns makes you want to use them for drones? There's a. You heard something?
Yeah, they generally, I guess, work all right. They don't do heavy damage on drones, but there's a lot of them, and they shoot a lot of rounds at the drones. So
okay. So those modulated lasers you were talking about, those were supposedly the best thing for drones. So if you're gonna put those on anyway, might not be a bad idea to just double. That way you save CPU, right? The minigun ones.
Yeah, true. Well, I mean, if you take a look at what one of these little sentry guns costs, CPU wise, they're so cheap compared to a turret. I mean, it's ridiculous. So it's like I could put on 20 of those for what it probably costs for one tier 1 turret.
Okay.
So that's really I'd have to look again exact CPU numbers. I think it was only like 300 or something for one of these, where it's 10,000 for a turret.
Yeah, because the modulated ones are hit scan, right? So that's why everybody's saying those are the best ones. They're hit scan like they used to be with the lasers or whatever.
Oh, like the positrons?
Yeah, so if you're using those anyway for the shield takedown, why not double up and also use them for drones? That way you free up. I'm not even talking about the sentries, because if you say they're that cheap, then fine. But at least the tier 2 miniguns, you don't have to waste CPU on those if you've already got the...
That's a very good point, actually. Yeah, so then you could... Yeah, no, I kind of like that. You know, the most amount of... firepower I can get on the target, the better in the end, you know. And obviously, legacy space, you got to assume that you're going to be fighting stuff when your shield is down, because it sounds like it's going to be down pretty much the whole fight, no matter what you do. So, I don't know. I figured I'd just build something that would have a lot of bulk front room and places for decoys and layers of armor, and try to keep everything secure in the larger chunk of the ship in the back there.
Yeah, right.
So some things are probably going to change before I get this out to the workshop too. Even the hull work, like the back end, I'm not liking much at all right now. So I want to definitely update that. The bridge, I think the bridge area could use a lot more work, and there's miscellaneous other areas that are just unfinished or need changes. A lot of the bottom's not finished on especially the back side of the ship.
Yeah, I think just maybe the transition from this outer nacelle going towards the front, maybe further front or something.
Well, you talking about the bridge or?
Yeah, so I was watching the beginning of your video before the stream, and you said that you had stretched out the areas where the fixed launchers go, right? So
Yeah.
now that it's further out, kind of that rule of thirds thing is a little fibba some shit. Whatever. It you know what I mean? Like the it just needs a different angle, I think, coming from where I am to like here. Something like that. I don't know.
Oh, what are you talking about? The angle from the hull out around the guns over here, or are you talking about the bridge?
Well, I just mean that this has to connect here better to, I think, where it.
I think your audio went muted.
Oh, sorry. No, I was just saying, yeah, kind of what you were saying. I mean, this angle's fine. This looks great. But because it's so long and this is so far out, it's almost like it needs to be like to here, you know? Some kind of connection. Even if it's not a solid, you know, flat plane of connection, some kind of rail connection, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Because you see how it's really thin right here, and then once you get to that upward thrust, it just gets this really wide, quick angle, you know?
Yeah. Well, it kept on widening up because I was trying to place some gigantic guns back there.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be more trim, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna do that or not. I get where you're coming from.
Even just the top one. I'm not even talking about both ends here. I just even mean this top one. If this was like you know what I mean? Like maybe out this way a little more. Because it wouldn't take away from line of sight or any of the fixed weapons or anything. It would just kind of tie it together a little more. I don't know.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. But I had some more blocks and
And it sucks because you had to take that out because that angle there looks really good, but it's because it's gotten long.
I know. Well, my version right before this, it didn't have any angle there at all. It just went square, and then it shot all the way out where all these guns were.
Oh, yeah.
And so I stretched out the whole ship by 4 blocks right there, so I could add those angles and then make it work. It could potentially work the way you're talking. It would kind of screw up. I was trying to make it look a little bit modular with like the front chunk and the middle chunk and stuff. And if those attached to like the center of the middle chunk, it would kind of screw that up. But it might look better though. I mean, I'm not saying it won't look better. It would be more blocks.
Yeah. I really like what you did with the reverse thrust. That's cool because you never know where to put those, right? Like you're like, oh god, I gotta put that somewhere in the front. Nah, it looks really good. Like,
oh, thanks. Yeah, man. I tried several times to find places to put those. Originally, I had them up along near the bridge, but I didn't have the guns where they are. They were out on like wingtip things, and everything got changed around so many times already on the build. From the original version to where it's at now. And it'll change some more before I get the whole build too.
8.
Then after that, I'm going to have to, right now it's all carbon. So I'm going to probably just mass convert it to steel to start with the console command. And then I'm going to have to run around with a multi-tool and upgrade bazillions of blocks all over the place. And then probably I'm going to swap out some of these ion thrusters for the plasma variants. And see how it moves, I guess. So it's always a lot of pins and needles, and it is kind of a bigger ship for sure. But yeah, if you're gonna build something, I mean, this is when you're going out into legacy space, you're looking at late game ships, you know.
Yeah, sure.
You know, and I've been running around with like the Ridge Rat, which I basically is a starter combat CV. So this is like. It's got to be a lot more than that, you know?
No, of course. So, I mean, an 11 or even a 13, like, totally makes a lot of sense. The problem that I'm struggling with in RE2 is how do I get the quantum processors to match those extra quantum cores that this needs without this ship? You know what I mean? Like, you don't have this ship in the game right now to go and get all those drone processors to make that extra CPU. If you bring this in at Core 9... is it going to be strong enough to even fight the stuff you need to fight to get those quantum processors? That's where my issue is. It's like,
yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I don't know.
We can't even take out a destroyer with what we got in the game. So how are we gonna? You know what I mean? It's like,
well, I think we could, but
We might, but and honestly though, from what I hear, the Infector's Legacy, it's not as crazy as we're anticipating. It's when you get to the higher end Legacy ships. But if we just go out there and try to, hit some of the lower Legacy stuff, we might be okay with what we even have in the game.
Right.
No, I'm not talking about Core 9. I'm talking about Core 10 and 11, Buka. That's where you need like the 24 quantum processor, or is it 48? I don't know. Seen them out.
I mean, you'd eventually get them. Like if you did enough POIs, you'd eventually have enough of them. But that'd take that's a lot of time to get those processors.
Yeah. But I mean, I love it, dude. It looks really cool.
Thank you.
I kind of like the bridge. I mean, I know you got some feedback on it.
Well,
or whatever, but is this changed? Right? This is new, right? This isn't the one you had in the video.
It is.
Is it the same one? Is it set lower or something? I feel like it was sitting higher before.
No, well, in the video I just did earlier today, it was like this. But if it was a past video, it was sitting higher.
Okay. This doesn't look bad. Yeah, I think this works.
Yeah, I don't mind it as much as originally when I started this, I seen a picture of a screenshot in the X4 video game, and it had a ship that was sort of very basically shaped like this, and it was a much bigger ship, and it had a bridge that was sticking way above it, like at an angle like that. And I kind of looked at that, and I'm like, that shape could probably make a pretty good like combat type of ship in Imperium. So I kind of based that on how I started building this ship. But then later on, the ship changed so much that it doesn't really look quite like when it started, and then the bridge wasn't like really working, and I don't know. Well, there's a lot of things, but I don't know. I'm pretty happy with it. It looks different than other ships I build, I think.
Yeah, all right. Very shippy ship, very space combat shippy ship looking.
Yeah, that was kind of the goal. I wanted it to look like some kind of space battleship. I mean, I actually wouldn't mind building like a more of a vintage looking battleship too. I mean, that'd be a fun project. More like sea sailing kind of ship. Battleship. I always wanted to do something like that too, but especially now that we got these great big old guns and.
I mean, like steampunk kind of thing, or like...
No, like I don't know, like the biggest battleships in World War II kind of thing.
Oh, okay, so like a naval ship in space kind of look like.
Yeah,
I know what you mean.
Yeah, like the Star Blazer ship and stuff like that.
Shit, my battery's dying. Hold on. All right, now, Dadrick, we'll have none of that, sir. It's a ship, not a boat.
Oh, what did Dadrick say?
He's like boat in space. No, it's not a boat. It's a ship. Right, there's a different.
Right. Yeah. I don't know, man. I that cartoon back in the day. I was a little kid when the Star Blazers cartoon was on, and I just remembered I really was into it, and I'd run home from school as fast as I could so I could see it every episode, and it had that the Yakamoto in it, and it was just cool. So I always kind of had that influence in me, I guess, somewhere.
Yeah, no, that'd be cool, definitely. Like maybe I'll do that for a challenge one month. Do like a historical builds, and then you could gather inspiration from any like historical, naval ships or spaceships, or like even if you want to do like I don't know, like some of the first spaceships NASA made, stuff like that. That'd be cool.
Oh yeah, that'd be an interesting build. Something to think about. So where's your ship?
I feel like who's the guy that went after what was it? Was it Movado? Who was it that built the epic tank the other day in the challenge? And I'm like, oh my god! And then it was like, oh god, who has to go after him? I think it was Dadrick that went after him. Right, that's what I feel like. It's like, oh, all right, let me show you the thing I started last night.
Oh, dude, I've already got probably 30 some hours into this one. So, I mean...
Oh, you're doing way better than me. I got like 2 in this, so let's go. and it's way smaller than yours. Look at that.
Well,
so
yeah,
small.
we could. I could detach the current nose, and we could put your ship on the front.
Yeah, we could. It'd be like a double ship.
Okay.
I will likely make it a bit longer, just for the decoys to make a little more sense. And yeah, I'm still in like early.
Are all these turrets down in here all supposed to be decoys?
Yeah, those are all decoys. Yeah.
That,
So it's a turret, a generator, and a thruster times. Let's see.
Wow. Yeah, I guess that's a lot of CPU you're throwing into that, though. I mean,
it is. But I mean, so the idea is it's pretty small, right? So I need them to really focus on all this armor while I'm able to do my thing. But yeah, I mean, it's just to allow them to target whatever they're going to target, be it generator, be it thruster, be it turret. And then it's got 8 of these guys on it. But I am running into a CPU issue, too, where it's like, God, I really wanted to start at Core 9 and then maybe add turrets, but it doesn't look like that's happening. Because I don't have a warp drive in here, and I'm over. I'm like 30 or 40 over.
Oh, right. Well, I was going to say, too, because all those turrets are buried in there, and if you already used your CPU, you don't have any drone defense at all.
Right. So yeah, it's probably at least an 11, I'm thinking, like out of the gate. That's the only way I'm going to be able to do it. And then the thrust, too. The thrust was the other thing, where like I wanted to use I didn't want to use the drive thrusters. I wanted to use advanced. But as I realized, I'm like, oh, why am I putting 2 advanced when I could just put an ion? Because I was using plasma, right, for the advanced thrusters.
Oh, right.
I'm like, it just makes more sense to have an ion that I could then upgrade to plasma if I want. Save CPU, and it's a little weaker than 2 plasma advanced, but it's fine.
Well, yeah, one way to look at it, too, is, again, going into legacy space, that's more of a late game thing to do. Yeah, I wouldn't feel bad, just running plasmas like stock thrusters. On it, because by the time you're ready to do this kind of thing in game, honestly, you should have acquired quite a lot of the plasma converters.
Yeah. That's not the issue. Yeah. But my issue was kind of the scaling, right? So before I had 4 advanced plasma in the back, right, on all the 4 corners of these.
Right.
And then I was like, I mean, that's good. I could take it down to, I could take it up another notch with the elf magic thrusters. But then I was like, the drives look way better, right? And then I'm like, if I just have 2 of these, then I can upgrade these to plasma still for not a lot of CPU if I need a performance upgrade. But otherwise, like, it should.
Yeah.
So, and that's, and that philosophy was the same for the the reverse thrusters, but I'm not sure if they're going to stay there or how I'm doing that. I might be making this thing a bit bigger, but it does have all the medium and, easily the smalls. I see where I could put room for the big ones, kind of. I don't know. I got to shuffle a little bit of stuff around, but I should have enough room here to put the big ones too if I need to.
Right.
But I'm not really looking for much like walk room. Like, that's not what I'm concerned about with this build. I don't really care about the interior per se. Like, I'll have paths stuff, but I'm not looking for a hangar. I'm not looking for anything. I want this thing I want to be able to get into this thing, and this is all I got to worry about. I don't have to worry about any of that other stuff.
Right. No, I get you. Yeah. Definitely wouldn't want a hangar in there. Same thing with this ship. I could fit a hangar in it, but I don't want a hangar there. I'll put in large shield parts in that area or something.
But it is tight, but I think it's also, it's all spaced. So, and the other thing is this will all be Xeno pretty much. It's just, I hate building with Xeno because I build it in steel and then I'll change it at the end.
Oh, yeah.
I am looking at making this, like, I don't know. We'll see. This might be the Creel sub shit, and maybe I'll put some spikes at the end of it or something,
Oh, cool. Spikes.
Put some little scaly, spiky guys in the front.
Spikes are always awesome.
No, but yeah, I mean, that's really the only texture I like of the Xeno anyway.
Yeah, Yeah, there's that one texture. You used to use that texture on a lot of your builds anyway. Maybe you still do.
I used
Is
to,
it?
yeah.
Yeah,
The
but you just kind of
sparklers.
black it out, and it looks like a cool grate or something like that. It's about the only texture in Xeno I like for some things.
Matt
But
CZ coming in. Salute, sir. 43
yeah,
months of
cool.
resub.
My big thing is I don't know. I was just thinking that these battles. I don't know. I had it in my head that they're going to be pretty devastating, in that you could lose like, or are meant to lose like, I don't know, 20 blocks into your ship or so with all armor. So
Yeah.
that's kind of what I was thinking about when I was building this other one. It's like, yeah, I'll put some occasional decoys in there, but I don't know if I would put the decoys how you got them. Like, it was like one turret. I know it will probably be packed around with Xeno and stuff too. So yeah,
Completely
actually,
solid. Yeah, it'll be all
yeah,
solid Xeno. So.
yeah, that'd probably work. You could always take a couple of the turrets out of there and a couple of the generators and have a little more CPU for some other things too. It's just I don't know if you need that many decoys. Maybe though.
And so the other thing is I could just center them and have half the decoys. They'll still go for them. It'll just take them longer to get to it. So that kind of does make sense to just put them in the center. I don't really double up on it per se.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say it. Well, even these baby generators, they're still like quite a bit of Well, I forget what they are.
Yeah, I think they're 1275 or something.
Yeah, well, each turret's 1,000. So even if you have what you had in there, that would give you, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, be 40,000 plus 4 generators. That's a 60, 80,000 CPU right there.
Yeah. So that could be enough for at least some. That's the other big thing is I'm going to be doing a lot of testing before I can bring this in. I've got the cockpit not in the center, so I'm thinking that'll save me from drone attacks. I figure they'll shoot right about where I am, kind of the center of the build. That's pretty much where they shoot. So
yeah.
I just need to make sure that I have some solid, space there for them to be able to shoot. Not really.
Oh yeah, if the walls were really packed with Xeno all around and stuff, yeah.
Because I can't even tell you how insane the legacy drones are. They're like, it's kind of ridiculous, dude. Like you get like 30 of them, and they just lose their minds on your ship, dude. You can't get away from them. It's like, so like if you don't have something to like take them down, they will devastate you, like in and out of combat. Like you're already hitting like a main ship, and they'll just thread you. Yeah, it's crazy. So
I wonder if anybody tried. I haven't heard much about it. I've seen a couple ships with drone bays in them. But has anybody really tried those the drone bays out in actual like tougher combat in the game? I'm just kind of curious.
I keep asking that, and nobody's really given me solid feedback on that. I want to look at your center of mass because I think that's pretty much where they shoot. That's okay. Yeah. So yeah, about where that upward thruster is, I think is where the drones will shoot your build.
Yeah, I was actually anticipating that. Yeah, right around the center here. I'll be sure to make this area here tough on the walls and stuff.
Yeah.
Another thing I noticed with the Ridge Rat too is that because most of the time our cockpits are on the top side of our ship, so we're kind of looking over the bow of our ship. That the top side of the ship will take more damage than the bottom side of the ship as well. I've been seeing that on all the damage that we've got doing our little combat excursions. And so I'd probably if you're going to have a little lesser armor, I'd probably have it on the bottom side. If you're going for like the weight thing, I'm going to have to do a lot of that with this other ship. I mean, I'm already worried about its motion, especially after it's armored up and stuff.
So Jeffman's saying that not in tougher combat, but he's put them on a space base in single player and let them take out a pirate corvette.
Oh, really?
That's interesting. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So a space. Oh, that's kind of a neat way to do that. Yeah, I haven't like I've seen them, and the part looks really cool. I mean, if you looked at the drone bays, like what they did in Reforged Eden 2 for the modeling of the part and everything, it's cool. I would like to use them, but I don't know enough about if they're effective or not to like build a ship around that. You know what I mean? So that's
Yeah.
kind of where I'm at right now.
We gotta test them definitely. So I mean, that'll probably be more of that. I wonder. Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna talk to the admin team here and see if maybe Friday you and me can be in the server, maybe in like a weird playfield or something, testing of things like that, like the drone. I don't know. I don't know if that's possible, but yeah, I don't know.
We could try that. I don't know. I don't even know how to test it.
Yeah, well, it's just about spawning the things in. I'm not sure if I'm able to do that in server or if that's just a single player thing or if it'll affect. I don't know. So I got to talk to the admin. That would be cool because, yeah, I want the answer to the drone stuff. I want the answer to the drones, the legacy drones. I want to see how bad it is. Like, stuff like that. Like, actually, maybe even if you want to test yours, if you're at the phase, maybe by then I don't know, let's say you put the decoys in at a minimum and then you're able to kind of light test this thing if you want. That kind of stuff.
Right. Yeah, to be honest, I don't think I'll be ready for that by Friday, but next week.
Okay.
But
okay.
yeah, I probably got another 4 or 5 hours to work out the rest of the haul, and then I gotta probably lots more time of just getting armor and changing blocks and parts and stalls, and I got more time to spend on it. It's not gonna be ready this week for sure. It's amazing how it just ended up getting bigger and bigger over time, though. It started out smaller than it is, and then it kind of grew up again.
Yeah.
The Leviathan underwent a lot of that, actually.
Oh, yeah.
So you got this guy here, the Khanda fixed.
This is the Mark 1. Yeah, this is like the original one. It says fixed because I had to get Darkest to give it back to me. So I had the original RE1 warp drive in it, the advanced one. And because that model was gone, I could not spawn this thing in. It was like, dang, I've lost this build. So he fixed it and gave it.
Oh, cool.
That's why I don't have
it. There's one other combat ship that I had. I used it a long time ago for one of our seasons for a bit. A second.
Other than the trip?
It was a Scar ship. It was kind of ugly, but I liked it for combat. I'm just trying to remember what it was called now.
You'll never remember it. You're not talking about the Elder
no,
one, right?
No. Oh, here it is. Yeah, I think it was the. I don't have it. I don't have it. I thought it was. Oh no, there it is. Okay, hold on. This one here, the Scar Badger. This was like
I remember that one.
Yeah, this was like a littler ship. It's a lot of Xeno on it. I remember it working pretty good though. It had a lot of armor and sidewall armor and things. I thought it was ugly as all get up, but
well, so that's kind of the struggle with the way combat works in this game. It's like, some of the best ships, it's got like a big old ass, and then it just gets thinner and thinner as you go forward. And the balance of, just proportion just is way off, right? You're like, it's like frustrating, but it really is like the best. So that's like where the bludgeon came. Is I wanted to build something that had that mentality, but didn't look like that, or massive.
Oh, right.
But then I hate this ship because of the front. I never like. But at least the back, you see the angles, but you see all the turrets in it. So it's just little.
It had those those spires there.
Yeah.
Really nice for holding a lot of turrets, and holds them away from the central hall.
Yeah.
So it doesn't.
Yeah. So you got 7, 14, 21 turrets just right there, right? Those 3 things, and then you still got. Yeah, but the problem with this is, again, I just kind of built it too small, and it's like not hard to get to the. So this suffers from that center thing too, because the drones would shoot like right here to the center, and that's where the cockpit kind of is. And 2 blocks to the cockpit, so they would always shoot me out of the cockpit.
Oh yeah. I don't know with this stuff though. Even that when we were flying around with Thursday, I mean, even that was a pretty good sized ship too. I mean, that was no joke of a ship. And that was like all Xeno, like all blocks, like
Right, but
yeah.
that at the same time, like it was, but I think I have it somewhere. What was that thing called?
Oh,
It might show
I
up in my
forget.
yeah, it'll show up in my
I forget.
subscriber.
And yeah, and I know it wasn't built by Thursday either. It was
No,
built
no, that's
by another.
Movado here. Yeah, I got it
Yeah,
right here.
yep,
It's yeah, this one.
yeah.
Yeah. So, but you look at it, and it's really not. There's really not a whole lot going on here. It's pretty small. But you look at the front here. You look at these two side things.
Yeah, I guess it's not that big.
Look at the two front things. These are the decoys, right? So it's got a small generator, thruster, and a the generators and thruster. But these guys are the actual decoy, and then then the center has more decoys, generator, thruster. I don't. Oh, he's using fixed weapons. Okay, so light laser cannon. Oh, and then there's a turret as you go further in. Then we get to the fuel and O2, and yeah, then we get to the shield parts, and then we get to the actual like shield.
Right, right.
So, but then you see all the fire on the top here.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's that wing back there holds a lot of stuff up there.
Yeah. So I
mean, it's a great way to do it. It's really effective in game this way, especially keeping all these parts away from where you don't want to be shot at.
Yeah.
So like a big wing. That was the same idea I had, a smaller proportion, but on that Curiel thing across over there, the Segawin had the wing on the back too, but not as much stuff on it. Not as big of a wing.
Right. So yeah, I mean that's kind of the go-to. I mean, you remember my thing from back in the day too, the Tomahawk.
Yeah, I think so. I don't. I know I've seen a lot of your ships.
I don't expect you to remember what
do you remember that one thing I called it a sand scare, but it was actually a scar?
Of course, I got it right
here. Okay.
No idea. Yeah, I don't even. But yeah, it was kind of the same thing. It was like that HV tank, but I made it a CV, and same wing thing, saying all that. But it's like you really want, like what the best strategy is, but like you still want to be inspired.
I think your audio cut out right there again.
I said you know what you need to do as far as the strategy of the build, but then you also want it to look the way you want it to look, like your style of look and everything. So it's hard. It's hard to do. For me anyway, I have a lot of trouble with it.
Yeah, no, I get you. I get you too. It's like I of course as an author, I want to build stuff that looks nice. But you're often at odds with looking good and working good. Right. And that's the big problem. especially when you get higher and higher end stuff like Cycle Legacy Combat CVs.
Yeah.
And that's that's just rough.
Well, even I mean, honestly, like I'm not even calling this a legacy build. It's just like a combat build. Like,
true.
I really think that the strategy holds for really Xerax and anything.
My only take on the difference between regular CV combat and legacy combat is that a legacy ship, in my interpretation of that, would be a ship that could operate and take a beating without a shield, where a normal ship could be a lot more shield dependent and be not, wouldn't be able to take the beating that the legacy ship could take, but you'd still win the battle because you have enough shield and you're,
right. But what I'm saying is, if you brought the legacy ship and attacked the Xerax, you'd be successful the same way. Like,
right.
I think it's the shield thing that's causing a lot of issue with combat. For me anyway. And honestly, it's, for you as well, I would assume too, because we're used to shields now, but it's not native to us. So it's like, I'm used to going up in front of something and seeing it wipe half my ship and still flying away fine. I need to get back to that because the whole shield business is just a lot of CPU. And I could be using that CPU for something better, like more weapons or
Oh, true, true. There is that aspect of it too. But you know, in non-legacy space, or if your shields are able to operate as normal, you know, having a big shield means you can get by doing some harder combat without. I mean, especially if you're being careful, not really taking any damage. You know, like where these legacy ships, you know, if the shields are well non-existent or gone, um, even if you win the battle, doesn't mean you're going to have a hefty repair bill after the fact. You know.
Well, yeah. I mean, if the front of your ship is all just decoys and blocks, it's probably not going to cost much to repair. That's where my head's at. Like, if I could put 30 cal turrets in the front, small generators, these are all like low level cost things. Like, I could lose the whole front of the ship, and it wouldn't cost anything to repair. It's when they get to the back and you start taking damage in the back, that's when it becomes.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. So yeah, I'll have to figure out what kind of decoys I put in my ship here too. I was planning on, you know, like I don't know, a baby generator, some kind of weapon. I don't know if it would be a launcher or a turret. And then what's the other part that's used for decoys?
Launcher. Oh, yeah, a turret, generator, and a generator and a thruster.
Oh, thruster, yeah, yeah. So,
Thruster.
in fact, like if you notice on this ship here, I got the couple dinky little thrusters for down thrust over here. Um, that is well, one thing I was, you know, if you're facing your target right front on, right, and if you count the number of blocks that would have to be blown up before that thruster actually gets hit, even though it's visible from the top. I mean, you're looking at like, I don't know, 15 blocks before 15, 20 blocks before you get to it, you know, from the front end. So that's how I'm kind of like looking at those a little bit like a weird decoy. But however, it's quite anticipated though that I'll have the nose down a little bit when I'm fighting, and it will have a line of sight. You know, the enemy ship will have a line of sight right on these thrusters without going to the front of the ship first. So maybe I'll sink those thrusters in there, keep them a little bit visible. Maybe put a grate over them on the top, so they're technically still like working and not just you know, totally fake. But that would still attract the AI to shoot there. In fact, I'd probably ought to move those forward a little bit too, so not as far back as they are. But yeah, it's just stuff like that. I'm going to try to figure it out and see how it works. Obviously, I'll have to do some testing too. So yeah, it's a lot of unknowns here.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, all right. Do you feel like getting back in the game, or?
Yeah. I mean, we could either take some time to build ammo and stuff, and maybe do some POI stuff in the later part of the stream.
Might have lost
Or
you. Oh, did you? Yeah, your mic cut out. So you said you could either, and then it was or.
no, I was saying we could get on, and I'd have a lot of a little work to do to build up ammo and stuff like that. But then maybe we could go and do some POIs, or we could try to make the drone base and test that out.
Oh yeah. Well, testing out new parts is a problem for me in game because I don't have skill points I can throw around for that right now. You know what I mean? Yeah, they're tight.
Catch up on chat here. Are you guys gonna try using the space drones? Yeah, maybe at some point. Turret, manual weapons, small thrust. So Kane, why the difference though between the fixed weapon and the turret? Like, why would you need both? Wouldn't one or the other work? Like, are they gonna attack my fixed weapons before they attack a turret closer to them? They're both separate. So you're telling me there's ships out there that will only focus on my fixed weapons and only turrets?
That's getting a little crazy.
Is that true though? Make a quick model
God,
Ate you never brought in. Ate, geez.
And at 10,000 CPU, a fake weapon.
Yeah, but I guess
that's just a lot.
Yeah, but the specific question I'm asking though is there OPVs that will ignore turrets to target fixed weapons further away than the turrets? If that's the case, I see needing both. But if not, then I don't see where one or the other is an issue. Yeah. Okay. So not turrets. I'm talking about fixed weapons or turrets. I don't think. I don't know. I don't. I hope that's not a thing. God, I don't want to put all.
So how much CPU do like one of these good ships? How much CPU do you put in just decoys?
Well, I mean, it really just depends on the size of the ship. Yeah, I mean, and at the end of the day, if they're gonna target it, they're gonna target it. So if you put one set of decoys and you surround it by 7 layers of Xeno, like they're gonna target it. So yeah, I mean, I'm thinking in my head, I'm going, yeah, I have way too many decoys. I really don't need that many. I probably need like 2 sets. One in the front, surrounded by at least like 4 or 5 layers, and then one midship that's kind of the same thing, and then that should be okay. I don't need that many decoys.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It's not like it used to be. It used to be like back in the day, like PvP builds, you would do like an obscene amount of like, yeah, dude. Like I remember fighting SVs in a tank, and I was fighting 2 SVs, and they were huge SVs, but they were almost solid cubes. Like it was ridiculous, man. Had an internal cockpit, and then literally they would go like combat steel block, thruster, combat steel block, generator. And that was the whole ship was just scattered randomly throughout this block and completely encased block for block. And it took like an hour to kill this thing. Like it was ridiculous.
Oh,
wow. It
wow.
wasn't doing shit to me. Like I was fine. Like it because it was an SV against a tank, which is, if you think about it, that's a hard fight if you're the SV. If you're in your SV and I'm in my tank and we go 1v1 in the desert or something where the terrain's not that big of a deal, I'm probably gonna have the upper hand because I've got all. Well, maybe not now because there's turrets on SVs, but back in the day there wasn't turrets on SVs, so it was like I had my rockets and I was just laying into you while you're trying to hover and fix.
Oh yeah,
you know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
Like,
I know what
yeah.
Without turrets on SVs, yeah, you'd have to manually target the tank, and if you're all over the place, and yeah, you'd be hard to hit. But now, yeah, SV's got the turrets, and I don't know. That'd be an interesting fight. Equal match like SV against HV with competent players behind the piloting them. That'd be an interesting fight to see.
Yeah, I mean, of course the SV would have the upper hand as far as defensively. Like you could just go up and avoid anything, but at the same time, I just feel like it's harder to fix fire with an SV. Well, then again, it's even harder with an HV to fix fire an SV with an HV. So yeah,
if you're using fixed weapons, I would definitely want to be the SV. I would not want to try to target an SV with a tank with fixed fired weapons. That'd be awful.
I wouldn't mind that. That'd be fun, but I know what you mean. Yeah, it'd be hard.
Well, if you were the tank too, and say your shield was down and you're worried about taking excessive damage, the SV is not going to let you get away because they can see everywhere you go and get there before you do. So you're kind of stuck there unless you can find a tunnel or something to go into.
Right. Yeah. All right, so I think I'm gonna work on some upgrading, some fixing. I've gone about 6 streams without doing any gathering of anything. So
oh yeah,
my stores are depleted. I need to do remedial stuff. So this might not be the stream that you tune into for the epic action and eventual loss of ships. That probably won't happen today. You never know. I might get bored in 30 minutes and decide to go kill something, but
well, I mean, yeah, if you do want to hit it like a ground POI, I'd be up for that. I'm not really ready for any space combat right now, though, I don't think.
Oh no, I'm definitely not doing space combat today. But I just mean, yeah. What I'll do is I'll work on building up the stores for the shot case again, and then if I get to a point where I go, okay, you know what, let's go. Okay.
Yeah, I might do that too. I'm not out of gold yet, but I am building some parts that use gold again. I might go back to that gold planet, do a little mining over there, because that's loads of fun. Not, but it gets gold.
Yeah, that's yeah. I haven't been
No,
over again yet.
I've been trying to outfit the space station, so I put some more furnaces in it and a couple more parts right before I hooked up with you. So now it's got 4 furnaces now in it, and I got a furnace in on it. Woohoo! And it works. Even tested it with some ore, and so far I have not put 1 drop of fuel in this space station.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah. So that's cool. I dig that. That's right off the solar panels. Oh, that's right. I was building some turbines for it right before I left. So yeah, I'm gonna place those now.
Hey, what's up, Britt? Yeah, right on, man. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna work on that. Let me see here. I think I need to go do a decent mining edition.
No, some good old CV. You do mostly CV mining, right?
Yeah. I go far out here because of you.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah. Oh, with me, I have a lot of problems with the map and the navigation. And yeah, if I could stay within jump range of a single jump, it's just so much easier. That's why.
All right. I gotta go. God, I gotta go get those. I'm gonna go do everything. I'm gonna go get water. I'm gonna go get the pentaxid. Oh, I don't even. Do I still?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I should go do the auto runner thing. Auto runner. The auto runner. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go do the auto runner. Yeah. Actually, I'm gonna go do that right now. I think I'm gonna just fly the Maycar right there. That's pretty much how I do it. I like smash it into the ground right in front of there. The ramp comes down. I grab it and I leave. You want to ride along and grab yours, or?
I'm gonna go in this thing. I still. God, I don't know what's going on here. Can I undocked vessels? Oh. Yeah, I gotta go to the water thing too.
Alrighty.
Yeah, dude, that's what I was most scared of the other day was losing the auger.
Oh yeah, you were talking about that. You were gonna like leave your ship just dead in there.
Oh no, I did. Yeah, no, I'm like, oh well, yeah, I guess we did get it, but this thing's an 11, dude. I'm like, I'm not losing. Oh, is it 11? Oh, wait a minute. No, I'm full of shit. It's an 8. Okay, it's I could put another one in here. I don't know what.
Oh, hey.
Well, I guess if I wanted more salvage parts, but yeah, never mind. But still, it's an 8. I mean, it's got some. I've invested processors in this. I haven't invested processors really.
Just out of curiosity, did you put a teleporter down by these auto miners, or is it just?
Yes, there is there's a drop base right next to the auto miner.
Oh, okay. Yep, that's right. I've been flying there obviously because I can't pick up pentaxid by hand and carry it back. So
well, so that base is there, and you can connect to it and put it in the box. But then eventually you have to go there anyways. I don't go there often, so it's like when I do, I need it. It's not like I'm being smart and doing it every day and like building up massive amounts and then doing a big haul after that. You know what I mean? I'm not doing that. So it's
Right.
Every time
yeah.
I need it, I need it. It's like I really need it. So
I've been trying to be a little ahead of the curve because, like if we decide next time, hey, we're going to go out and go do this, and then suddenly it's like, oh, I don't have any protection, I don't have any fuel, I don't have any of this. So I've been trying to be proactive a little bit. I still kind of suck at it though.
yeah. No, I gotta admit too. It's like before I left for vacation, I was in it. I mean, I was building things in days, and like I want to bring it in. Like I was super hyped. And then now that I've gotten back, I'm still hyped, but it's definitely not as trying to get back to where I was. You know what I mean? As far as the all the little stuff. So, and then dude, I haven't been sleeping well at all, man. It's been that's a big part of it as well. I just gotta.
Oh, right.
Yeah, dude. When you're in your 40s and you don't have a bed, it's a bad day. Like sleeping on the couch.
Oh yeah. Well, you said you lost your bed due to that.
Yeah, the freaking storm, man.
Yeah.
Ruined it. Because the problem is, if I was here, it would never have been an issue. Because I would have moved it, obviously, right? We forgot to move it out of the room. And I was thinking it was going to be fine. It's just a tropical storm. We've had category 5s, but yeah, because it's on the ground, and the place flooded, it flooded and it got wet, and that's fine. I could have taken it out. I could have put it in the sun. Problem is, I wasn't home for another 2 weeks. So that wet mattress for 2 weeks in this humid ass, concrete building, yeah, it ruined it. So and mattresses here, I don't know about in the States, but like that mattress was like just the mattress, not even the box. I couldn't afford the box springs. The mattress alone was like $1,200. It's like,
oh wow,
for a mattress. Yeah, so it's like shit here is so ridiculously expensive. It's like I couldn't afford the little metal legs and box springs because I think that would have been another like $700 or something. It's so ridiculous here. Like, if you want to buy a proper bedroom set with the dressers and all that fancy, you're spending like $5,000 here. And that's so stupid because, God, I could go to IKEA. I could go to what bedrooms plus whatever factory outlet, some shit, and probably get it for like $400. I think I'm just going to decon. I'll put. Oh, hey, you don't have any pentaxid I can borrow, do you?
Oh, I just died. God darn it.
How'd you die?
Because there was a storm on the planet. Was trying to get the pentaxid.
Oh.
And it killed me. Like,
you scared me. I thought you died like your ship.
No, that was the stupidest death. I had like 80 hit points. I figured I had enough time to get my ship, and suddenly my health dropped like 60 points. I took a health potion, but it still killed me. God darn it.
I was going to ask, do you have any? I don't see any pentaxid in your. You don't have any.
Well, check I was going to say check the Macar that I have with me. I have it in the Macar. I don't think I have it in the orbital base.
Oh, what about the Ridge Rat? Maybe can I borrow it from the Ridge Rat?
Yeah.
I just need to get there.
Oh, I spawned it. Oh, God darn it. Oh, I'm getting pissed. Now I meant to spawn at the Macar, and I spawned at some random POI space station somewhere. Oh no.
Just commit it.
Oh wait, maybe I can warp to it. Yeah, I should be able to do that.
LU-200 refined.
Yeah, okay, I could teleport to the Macar. Cool. That had to be one of the lamest deaths I had, though. Just lame.
No, I could probably recount at least 10 times you had lamer deaths than that.
Well, probably, but just pisses me off. I haven't died in a while. I've been going pretty good without dying.
I'll agree, dude. You've this season you've brought your A game. I'll definitely give you that, especially the POI runs and stuff. You've definitely stepped it up for sure. After that frustrating stream where we weren't communicating or whatever, the drone based stream. After that, like it's been awesome after that.
Oh well, yeah. A lot of lessons learned too. I mean, me, like, I'm wearing better armor. I have better guns. I stocked up on meds and things now. Makes a big difference. Before I got an assault rifle and no meds. Let's just go ahead. And then it turns into a death loop that gets even more annoying. And yeah, so now being prepared helps.
Oh, for
a
sure.
lot.
Well, not only that, but it's also, it's also matching the energy of the person you're playing with too, right? It's like, when and you come from FPS too, so it's like you've probably been in co-op situations with friends, and like you know how they roll. You can count on what they're gonna do and what they're not as good at, and you can kind of like work together to kind of make it work, right? The best you can.
Right. Well, even with me and the friend I probably played the most amount of that stuff with, it took us a while to work out how we were working together. I mean, it takes some things. And I remember we were playing one game and we had it down. It was a little bit tougher. We were playing on harder settings, and we would like every time we would come up to an enemy base or something like that, it's just like by default he would go after. He would start on the left side, and like if we're sniping, he would like start sniping from left to right, and I would start sniping from right to left, and we would meet in the middle. And it was almost like a race on, like he had like 3 or 4 guys on his side, I had 3 or 4 guys on my side. It was like a race to see who could kill them all, and then we'd have backup. Like if like someone got all the targets and the other one didn't have all the targets down, I don't know. It was kind of fun though. We could work out some things. There's some of those missions that were actually pretty rough, so I had to think a little bit. And then later on, we were just like, well, this is taking a lot of time. Let's just run in like commandos and just be done with this.
Yeah. No, I get it. I mean, me and a buddy that I used to play all my FPS with, and he actually hit me up a couple weeks ago. He's like, dude, I've got Ready or Not. We got to play that. Because we played a lot of all the Rainbow Six stuff. So Raven Shield, and then Vegas 2, like that. Me and him played all that. So we got to the point in Vegas 1 where we could run the library mission like we're like speed running that shit. It was like clockwork with us, dude. Freaking awesome.
Oh, nice.
Like
nice.
when you have it that that good with somebody, like it's a lot of fun. That's why I was suggesting like we do some other FPS, so that way we can build up that same kind of.
Oh yeah, I'm always game for that. I just don't exactly know what FPS don't to play right at the moment. That's kind of a problem.
No, I got you there. But for me though, it's like this game is so frustrating FPS wise. I don't want to do it enough to really, like, what's the word? I don't enjoy playing the FPS in this game for long enough to really develop that. You know what I mean? So it's like I would rather take you and go play Ghost Recon and then get used to how we, strategize and our tactics and stuff, and then bring that into this game and then deal with the buggy frustrating.
Right. Well, I mean, of all FPS shooters that I've played, this one's probably the worst. So, I mean...
Oh, by far, yeah. By far. So I got that one going. Did you ever put one on the other one?
Put what? What on the other?
There's two Pentaxid deposits here.
Oh no, I never did.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, every time I go there, I pick it up about 1900 Pentaxid. That's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. That's like.
No, that's true. That's good. But when you start making ammo and stuff, it becomes. Well, I guess you don't. Well, yeah, you need elemental Pentaxid for one of them. Which one? Oh, I'm getting like acid rain.
Yeah, I'm heading over to the gold planet right now. Figured I'll do a quick gold run here.
Oh man, you're bold. Well, if you could, mine me an entire container as well.
Oh, sure. It's loads of fun. It's I can do that. I can do this all day.
You
all
got your
day.
backpack from here or no?
Huh?
Your backpack back at the deposit. Did you pick that up or?
Yeah, I did.
It still has it here, but I guess it's not.
Yeah, I got all my stuff. So yeah, he just made me look. So I was like all freaked out. I'm like, did I forget to get it? No,
I thought about that the other
grab
day. I was like, shit, did I? Because I remember I loaded all new weapons in my loadout, and I had all these cool weapons, and then I remember I died when we were doing that combat, and in my head I'm like, did I ever get my backpack? I don't remember, but now that I've logged back in, I can see it. I was worried though. I'm like, oh, I didn't just lose all those new weapons.
You know, it's pretty cool though. I gotta really hunker down and make a lot of fuel because I'm about out again. But man, dude, both that space station I'm using doesn't use any fuel. The Make car now, I'm flying towards the moon and stuff. It doesn't use any fuel. It's cool.
Yeah, for sure.
This was a high gravity moon too, wasn't it? Or somewhat high gravity. Oh, that's right. I don't let the Make car run. I park and then get into the miner. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, I died.
Oh, you died?
Yeah, I hope I didn't lose this. If you die and you have things in your connected toolbar, do they disappear? I was sitting there trying to unattach and it wouldn't let me. Oh, it's still. My weapons went into the connect. Okay, grab the backpack.
Oh, okay. I was curious what happened with that too. I thought I lost something before from that same reason though.
Yeah. Yeah, now I feel like I definitely gotta go hit up some POIs later on. I forgot I had all these weapons. I definitely want to try them out. Oh, the game crashes. Okay. Yeah, so the other thing is I do want to go with Thursday to the drone space thing. I gotta I'm gonna see if me and him could test his mic offline at some. Because yeah, that was the other frustrating thing is I really wanted to hear.
Oh yeah.
He was just kind of out of the conversation, which was. I think the gist of it I got, but you know what I mean. Like it would have been able to ask more questions and stuff.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, speaking of that, yeah, he hit me up and said he could build me some modular laser turrets too, where I wouldn't have to unlock them. So I'll have to remember to get. I don't even know how many I need right now.
Well, that's the other thing. Yeah, I need to unlock modular. Is that just a unlock or is that a schematic? Modular unlock, right?
So what do you do with sulfur? I got it. I've had it the whole game. No idea what to do with it.
I remember something with sulfur, but I can't recall. Yeah, where do you get modulated turrets, guys? Is that where do you get that?
I think you can unlock them and build them.
I don't see it in the, unless it's in some other.
I thought I seen them in the skill tree before, like under CVs, like way at the bottom somewhere.
Oh, okay. Oh, I've already unlocked them. So I just gotta go. Oh, they took something weird, like robotics or something. That's when I stopped. I was like, okay, sounds like some Polaris trade, whatever. I'm gonna work on it though. I'm gonna work on getting some money today. I'm gonna work on doing things I need to progress here while we're getting ready for. So I'm guessing drone space might be our best avenue here.
It sounds like it, rather
get
than
some
Legacy.
aux cores. Yeah, get some aux cores, so that way we could bring in these newer ships.
Yeah,
I think that's probably the route to go. I still think there's a loadout of that ship I have that would probably suffice tracks to it. I don't know. When you fail with a build so many times, you just kind of kills the build. It's like the spade effect, you know. It's like, you know, as much as the spade I feel was a pretty good build, like it's just failed so many times. I don't even.
Oh,
just the shame, you know. There's it's a thing.
Yeah, I know. I get where you're coming from on that. It's yeah. I do like to see ships get like defeated or damaged, though. I like to assess the damage, like I'm an investigator to try to figure out what happened, kind of thing.
Yeah, sure. Oh, a spade. All right, does this thing? I don't even think I have a fuel.
Oh yeah, I keep on wanting to go ice mining too, and I just haven't done it yet.
Yeah, dude, there's spots right here, right next to the base that you.
I should look around. Yeah.
Back in this damn thing. Yeah, right. We'll see. I need to. Yeah, so right now, like, I've got what I got in here, but I just gotta be better at that. I'm so bad at teleporting. I'm so bad at going and doing all these things, and I really shouldn't be. I've made it pretty easy here. Everything's right. Built all these things. I need to like use them.
Yeah.
There's no reason why I shouldn't have like obscene amounts of fuel right
now. The reason why I don't have, I keep forgetting to make it. I think about it, and then I'm like, yeah, I'll do that, and then I go off and on some adventure and never do it.
Trying to chase water diamonds back. Trying to refine diamonds and magma. Yeah, see, that's the other thing. I don't know anything about combat sites. I feel like Omega explained it to me one day. I think he even gave me some awesome like picture tutorial thing, and still didn't understand. I just probably gotta read it again. Yeah, it's been a minute. So I see.
What do you mean by combat site?
You know those triangle, like when you go into a star and then you see all the different planets, but sometimes there'll be like a triangle and it'll say like combat site, mining site, exploration site. Those are all like special instances of things, and some of them are very, very lucrative.
Oh,
Last three
really?
sites aren't too bad. The refinery one is hard. The munitions one. So they're like, you know, people seek them. I mean, the same. That's how you would find legacy
Are
right now.
are they like POIs or something, or what's at
No.
these
It's
sites?
a orbit. So it's like, you know, it's like you're spawning into an orbit. It could be a legacy super ship. It could be a. It depends. I don't know. I've never been
Okay,
there, but
okay.
I know that there's good stuff in them. So I don't know if it's mission, like scenario mission things. I don't know. Scenario, you know? Yeah, I don't know what I'm saying. Never mind. There's a thing, and you can go in there and get things. It's cool.
No, it's all about the things.
I know nothing about it, and I'm not even flying in my. What the hell? Did orbital planet. That's what I want to see. I want to see how much. Because for me, I think for you too, it was like, you know, we used to do the harvesters on the hell planets, and you know, built a lot of ships just around that, and now that's gone. So like that doesn't really.
Oh, there is no more harvester in Hell Planets.
No. That whole thing's gone. So the only way you can get drone parts now is like the orbit trees or just drones and stuff. But then the other issue was always like getting out and looting the drones after you kill them. Like for one person to do that, that's annoying as hell. So I feel like if we do that, we need to, you know, buddy up and like have one guy in the hangar that could just easily get in and out to like loot.
Yeah, that would make
That's
sense.
the only way that works. Like otherwise, like I don't even want. Or I feel like another cool thing would be to have like a really small SV that's like an easy in and out SV, like even like an open cockpit, you know, to where you're in your spacesuit and you can fly to this thing, easily get in and out of your chair without any kind of even animation. You know, like you know when you get in and out of your closed cockpit, there's like that subtle, weird, disorienting animation. I don't think that's the same case with a fixed chair. I don't remember, but yeah, just make something super easy to quickly go in and out, and maybe even have some cargo to where you can loot those small things without needing to be. Because that's the other big problem with looting in orbit is the guy flying might move away a little bit, and now all of a sudden you're not connected, and you're like standing still, and he's like, "But we're gonna die," and, you know. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I know at one point in time the devs said they're going to do tractor beams, and that sounds like an amazing idea.
Dude, I've about given up on that. On that, I hear you.
Yeah.
I was there. I hear you, but yeah, I don't think that's gonna be a thing.
Well, it's like, I mean, how many drones do we shoot down? They all have loot on them. I never grab it because it's too dangerous to go out there and get the loot, and it takes too long, and yeah, it's just wasted. It's just like the same thing. If you got to loot the drones for the drone parts, which would make sense, I would hate to. Oh yeah, like go outside and do it because, but you go out there and then there's another drone you didn't see that kills you when you're trying to fly around in space trying to get the parts from the last drone.
I had a bunch of steel plates somewhere. That's the other thing with having a bunch of ships. I don't miss it. I'm gonna kill some of these ships to be honest, or put them somewhere else just so they're not like. Oh, here we go. Yeah, steel plates for the making of the fuel.
Yeah. Yeah, you get a lot. Yeah, I got lots of those in my Fuel and O2 thing on the maker. Oh, you can't get to that either because I got the ship with me. Right.
No, I got everything. Um, I should have water still.
Man, it takes a lot of drilling to get one load of this gold, man. Still slow.
Yeah, no, I don't. Are you streaming that?
Yeah.
I'd like to formally apologize to Jay Randall's audience. I'm sorry.
Well, you were talking too, in case you said something, brilliant. We don't want to miss it.
Early Christmas present for Jay Randall would be some kind of a video editing software, so he could cut large chunks of mindless mining out of his videos.
Oh, I can pause it too. No, I got a freebie video editing thing. I just hate spending the time to video edit. Even if I want to do any edits at all, then I got to like do the thing. It's got to rebuild the file. It's got to do this. It's got to do that. And it's just like before I know it, there goes the whole afternoon, and I just wanted to like.
I know what you mean.
All right, one full load of gold. Woohoo!
Nice. All right, so fuel and pentaxid are. Oh no, wait! I want to gauge. Let's. Yeah, mine and UCH.
When I parked my miner in the hangar of the big car, it said something about only one person is allowed on a planet or something. What did that say?
That's weird.
You can only enter a planet, or you can enter a planet only as a passenger. What the hell is it talking about? I parked an SV in the hangar, and it says you can only enter a planet as a passenger. What? I have no idea.
Yeah, I would relog if it doesn't.
It's fine. It hasn't screwed up. It's just I parked it and it said that message. I'm like, what? What is it even talking about? What?
A swarm capacitor matrix has about 100 processors, 2 shield generators.
Oh, that sounds like a target. All that time, 1,931 gold ore. Ugh.
That's a lot, dude. One
Yeah,
deposit is like 300 or something. Like 300. Like the last asteroid I did was like 375 gold ore, and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, the asteroids suck for it. They really do.
Yeah.
That's how I keep on putting all the. I keep on throwing the wrong stuff in the wrong boxes. Like I just dumped a bunch of electronics parts in my harvest box again. Gosh darn it.
Cats are awake right now. I don't know. doing? They're usually asleep right now.
I don't know.
Oh, so like you heard about James Earl Jones, right? That's sad,
Oh yeah, I did hear about that.
man.
Yeah, he was like what was his age? Like 95.
Something like that. Good life, man. Right? Like,
Yeah, one of a kind voice, pretty much.
oh
I'm sure.
yeah,
I'm sure someone else sounds like that somewhere in the world, but yeah,
yeah. But I mean, a good actor in his own right too, right? Like, I mean, it's a lot of iconic.
yeah, definitely.
I mean, obviously, Vader and Mufasa are probably the two biggest roles. But, he was the king in Good Coming to America. What's the other one? There was another one where he played himself, and I not himself, but laid back. Like it wasn't. I don't remember what it was.
Oh yeah, he was in a lot of stuff. I have to try to remember.
Oh, the reporter from Field of Dreams. Yeah, that's another big one.
So I got convinced into watching a movie the other day that has really bad reviews on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched the Borderlands movie.
Oh, you're brave. I didn't.
You know, yeah, I played, God, I think all the Borderlands games, like the first one, the second one, third one, I think the fourth one, and Tiny Tina's Adventures, and so I mean, to me, playing the game, it seemed like it was kind of like the game,
Yeah.
as so I didn't hate it. Like I thought I was. We watched it because we are gonna sit there and mock it, like for fun, but and actually I can see where a lot of people would think it's a really bad movie, and I wouldn't disagree. It's just it worked because I got all the game experience, and the game was just as crazy and whack zany as what the movie was. So
It was, but I don't think it's even the acting or any of that. I haven't seen it, but in order for a Borderlands movie to work, I feel like it has to have. It's got to be a certain style of like visual. You know what I mean? The cinematic style's got to make sense. It's got to work. It's got to be like I don't know. I just feel like kind of a Michael Bay-ish kind of thing. Like I don't know. I don't know. It is, but the only reason I'm not watching it is, dude, I'm so sick of Kevin Hart. Like I can't even explain. Like he plays the same thing in every movie, and I'm just so sick of it. I mean, when Kevin Hart started, like I thought he was hilarious. And I still do. I mean, he's got some great movies, but man, it's like that. It's like The Rock, right? Like you see them in so many movies, and it's just overkill. It's like,
oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not. I'm not even sure who Kevin Hart is, honestly.
oh, okay, okay.
So he was obviously in the Borderlands movie. You know what character he was playing?
I don't know. But Kevin Hart's been in anything. He's been in the new Jumanji movies with The Rock. You seen those or
No,
with him and Jack Black and The Rock?
no. I seen the original with Robin Williams, but that's about it. Yeah.
Well, he's a comedian. He's like one of the biggest comedians. He's short, black.
Okay. Oh, so he probably played Roland in Borderlands. I bet then.
Okay. Yeah, probably. But yeah, okay. So if you don't know who that is, then that wouldn't affect you. But seeing everything he's been in, like always, like because my wife wants to watch everything he's in. It's like, oh, I can't. I can't even watch his stand up. Like he just, oh, I can't do it. No.
Gotcha. Hey, tell you what, I'll be right back in a minute.
I am after. There's another. It's the same thing for me for The Rock. There's a couple of actors that I just can't watch anymore. I've just seen that same character over and over. Yeah, exactly, TK. So like there was a movie back in the day with Jason Statham. Uh I forget, like his heart rate can't go under a certain amount or else he explodes. He had some kind of a bomb in him or something, and Crank or it's something. It was like a B movie ish. It wasn't like a super A movie. Crank, yeah, but it was awesome because of the pace of the movie, and because of it, it's like yeah. So I feel like it needs to be something like that. But yeah, it's got to be a good story. So like Fallout, I wasn't a big Fallout player, but I really enjoyed the show. I don't know if it stayed true. I mean, from what I hear, it did, but I don't really know. But at the end of the day, like it was solid. That's all it's got. It's just got to be a good story, man. Everything after that is secondary. What else did I watch recently? I've been watching a bunch of kids stuff with Lex Guys. Can't even speak to like real movies. Oh, and I'm rewatching Fringe too. Another one. We're rewatching Fringe. I love that show, dude. Fringe is classic. But yeah, The Last of Us, Fallout, like there's some really good video game to TV shows. And I think that's a big part of it too. I feel like unless you're talking about a game that has a very um, direct story arc, like TV show is a better format for video games than movies. Um, the exception would be like I feel like the Tomb Raider movies. New one. There's only been one, right? I thought it was really good. I don't know why they haven't made any more of those. I thought she was good. I thought the movie was solid. I want to see more movies based on that game trilogy. But I don't know if they're making. So that's another thing. I don't know. I don't think you could find anybody that knows less about Warhammer than me. I don't even know what it is. Is it a? I don't know if it's like a card game, like Yu-Gi-Oh or something, or if it's like a RTG, not RTG, an RTS, or is it a
An RTG?
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like I have no idea what Warhammer even is. I know there's figurines and stuff. Is it a board game? Like I'm completely ignorant to Warhammer. And every time somebody starts talking about Warhammer and oh, that looks like the ship, and I'm like, what? Like, what is this? What is Warhammer? What is that? Is it a like? I don't know what it is. I have no. Is it a show? Is it a movie? Is it a game? Oh, it's a pen and paper strategy. Oh, okay, so it's like a D&D esque RTS thing.
Yeah, it was D&D like Origin, War, Combat, down grid boards, and then video games were made out of it, and now it's probably movies.
Gotcha. Okay, that's cool.
All right, so I got to find myself some ice stuff just to check out the ice stuff.
Yeah, I could. I literally have that in my orbit. If you want to, if you go like in between Xerax and Polaris, I can give you a star that has 2 of those. Haven't been touched. 3 of them.
Oh, what's the star name?
Setatura. Setat.
I see it. Oh, 146 light years from me, though. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh no.
Oh my god. Well, it's not. It's not the light years. It's the the navigation
Oh, well,
of me getting there.
you haven't made a neutral hop yet?
I've got hop zones, but yeah, I'm not sure. All right, I'll try to figure it out. I'll try to get there.
See, this is why I need to stop for a minute. Brr. I had the hydrogen bottles and the promethium pill. Yeah, so when you get the ice, you get water, you get all that stuff, but then you also get deuterium, which is what you need to make the fuel for the dense mining turrets.
Oh, right. And then the dead spine turrets do the good turreting.
Yeah, they give you all the stuff. So in Polaris, it's okay. You get like the basic stuff. So you get like, I think it's iron, silicon, copper. You get like, you might get promethium or something. There's another one where you get a lot of promethium, like all the promethium pellets you could ever want. And then there's like another one where you get like gold and like good shit, you know, like. But it's either drone space. I think that's the drone space one. That's the best. But Xerax gives you some good stuff. But the problem is you got to clear all that Xerax stuff. That takes a full-on combat ship because there's usually a Corvette in there. There's usually like bases, and you know. I think that's the feedback that I've gotten from RE2 is that's the hardest aspect of the game to kind of get into is the dense mining because it takes a whole combat ship. But then you also need the actual harvesters and stuff, which is a lot of CPU too. So how do you make a ship that's balanced for both and not like a core 13 or something? So I feel like that's what's going on. People are doing that more in endgame. Mid game, which is where you kind of used to do the dense stuff. Then by end game, it's like, well, you don't really need that stuff
anymore. True. Like yeah. Besides the fuel to power the dense mining drills, it's like I don't really need any of the stuff I'd get from the drills, as far as I know. Like, I just don't need any of it, really.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's when you go to the drone, I mean, it's good. Like, you get Zascosium, you get gold, you get, like, good shit. So, you'll definitely use the stuff you get, but it's just less of a... You're not progressing towards anything else by that point. Game-wise.
Right, true. Just stocking up on stuff. Yeah, I guess the way I'm used to, the way that seems to work pretty good is try to build up to a CV miner. Once I can do that, yeah, resources are, besides like gold and titanium, resources really aren't a problem anymore, typically.
Take off 3 of my heavy plasmas to throw. So that's what I mean. It's like I feel like that part of it hasn't been fleshed out enough.
Yeah, like maybe those dense mining drills and stuff, they need to be a lot less CPU, make it worthwhile, put them on more kinds of ships.
Yeah, because you can only have, there's a max of them you can have anyway. So I don't think it's, I don't know. Honestly, I haven't even looked at the cost of it.
Warning, threat detected.
Okay, so this is where I need to focus on some modulating. Because last thing I want is this thing blowing up. Like, even if I got a shield, like, I'm still taking damage, and I don't... Cinder block. Pox or chicken pox, I don't know. So does anybody know? I guess I need to look at the cost of that. I really would like to at least. Light modulated laser turrets. So advanced power regulators and large advanced focus. Find those parts. They sell those. So I'm gonna go to a couple places.
Hey, if they have any heat exchangers, I'll pay you back for them.
How many heat exchangers do you need, Jay?
All.
Well, like, give me a number, because I've got a lot.
Really? Heat exchangers? You got a lot?
Yeah, I got a lot.
Well, let's see. Let's see. 3 times 14. So about 40.
Yeah, so just grab them out of the whetstone hone. They should be in the input.
Well, I don't want to take your heat exchangers.
Okay, well then I won't owe you the pentaxid again.
Whatever.
Yeah, I just
fine,
took the pentaxid, so now.
Okay. All good. So I just picked up like 1,900 more pentaxid at the thing that you installed for me.
Yeah. It's all relative at this point.
I'm actually just heading back to the base area. I figured I'll tool around there a little bit. I was trying to upgrade the space station some more, and yeah, I got some things to process.
Yeah, but I think when the season when I'm kind of done with what I want to do in the season, I'm definitely gonna work on a modulated system like starter CV / dropship / mutt system. I think I'll be happy with that because I do think that the starter CV. I don't have a good one for RE2 yet. I didn't like the cutter. I didn't enjoy. So yeah, I definitely feel like the shot case could end up being like a starter, but I'm gonna rebuild a whole new one. But same kind of concept, and then eventually it'll kind of like the Makar, kind of turning my dropship concept into a Makar-ish modulated system to where that's you know what I mean?
System, yep.
Yeah, to where that's the main thing, and then I'll have like specific spot for the mutt. I'll probably do a new mutt with some slightly different I'll have like a better entrance, like just basic stuff. But I want to do this kind of far out because I don't want to build this all and then they do a bunch of changes and now those don't. So I'm waiting until I see, as there's some major changes happening in the next. But I'll still kind of be plotting out that system, but it's going to be a slow churn build. It's not going to be like a quick build.
Right. No, I gotcha.
The size isn't really going to change regardless of what they do. Like the size of the build will pretty much be the same. Thrusters will probably be the same. It's just some of those little things that later on.
Yeah, no, I definitely like the idea, like Janus, Makar type of things. Yeah, if you can build it too, and it's use it as a base for a little while before you're even airborne, get it in real cheap. That's a nice little thing.
Yeah. And then honestly, like if I could, I'll probably do like a module system to where I have but it'll be a lot smaller than like Helios. At least half the size of Helios. And I think that's fine. Like you saw, like I want to do a guard module and I would probably want a cargo module. But then half that size. Because honestly, like you look at the Helios modules and the amount of cargo that the Helios has is it's obscene. Like I've never filled even half of that, right? So then there's that, and then the garden, like that's obscene too. So I probably don't need as many as like Garriman has in that Helios.
Warning, threat detected.
So just to scale those back, but then I feel like okay, that'll work for me early to mid game. That'll solve a lot of issues. Like food's an issue, making meds is an issue. The cargo, the cargo can be an issue definitely as you progress mid game. Stuff. And so like what you have in the Makar now, you have a lot of 640s in there, right?
Oh no, just 2.
Oh, what's the
yeah.
build that? Oh, it's the station that has all that. Okay.
Yeah, the station has a lot, but yeah, the Makar has 2 fill-in 640s. It didn't even come stock with them, and then it has 4 320s. And beyond that, for ammo, it just uses like an ammo box. That was about it. Which, honestly worked pretty good for me. For the most part. I mean, I really I've got way more storage, obviously, with a space station, but I don't know what to put in it right now. So
Yeah. And that's probably the only build that I'm super happy with this playthrough. It's been the base. Like, I don't see myself changing much of anything with that, so I'm really happy with that base. Pretty happy with the new Auger G4. I'll probably make a new one, though. That's a little more, like, thruster conservative. Just less of some stuff and just tighten it up a little bit. But I might not even do a whole new build. What else? The combat ship, I will probably tweak that too. Like, I like the look of it. It's just, the loadout and rust and it doesn't quite work. But I feel like I can still fix that without changing. And at the end of the day, this has been a complete beta season. Like, it's not, you know what I mean? Like, this is, it's all testing, right?
Yeah, that's what we call it.
But yeah, I think if we hadn't started the season early, we would probably be starting it kind of now, I think. And I am glad that we started earlier because I definitely built a lot of stuff. I mean, I've built, I'll probably go over it in one stream, but I've built, like 4 SVs. I've taken at least 6 or 7 CVs to texture phase almost. Tank, 2 tanks, maybe 2. Yeah, it's been a lot and a station. So that's way more than I ever built in a season. So
that is a lot. That is a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I even textured a few of them. So.
All right, so I put in 2 advanced cores in the station. 8 turbines now, so it's got 4 small, 4 medium, 4 furnaces, 4 advanced constructors. It's getting there, filling this thing up.
You got to start doing some automation, man.
What automation?
Well, semi-automation, but like I said, I have a box that has the ammo that I need to craft, and I put all the ingredients for that ammo in there, and I organize it to where I can tell the levels of each ingredient, and I just maintain the amount of ingredients in there, and then I just make ammo. I just make stacks of ammo, and it depletes, and then I replenish the ingredients, and so it's not me just connecting to an input and then wondering, oh, did this other craft take away? No, I want to make sure, hey, I'm giving this stack of Arrestrum to ammo, and then I'm giving this stack of Arrestrum to input, and then that way I know that I'm not losing resources between builds, you know what I mean, or between crafts.
Yeah, no, it does. It does. I kind of did a little bit of that with my fuel. I got a fuel bin, and I put in the plates and the right stuff to make the fuel all the time. So,
Matt's easy.
anytime I want to make fuel, I just point it to there and make the fuel. But that's about as far as I went with it. I like with the furnaces in the station, I did set up a furnace in, and all the furnaces are set up to grab the inbox, and they output it to the main. And I did that with the deconstructors on the Makar as well. So there's a decon in, and then it does its thing, and then it throws the stuff out to the main end kind of thing. So yeah, a little bit. but I didn't really, oh, yeah, like automation. I'm thinking like Factorio or something like that. It's like, oh yeah, okay, we'll have this constructor build, the gears, and this one will, give it over to the other constructor, which builds the thing, and then it puts the gears with the other thing, and then it builds that, then it puts it out on the line, and then it packages it in another thing later on. It's like,
Yeah, but I mean, you can kind of. All I'm saying is, like, if I need to make ammo for my tank, I can just go to Advanced Constructor. I could point input and output to the ammo box, and I could just start crafting. And I already know that those ingredients are in there. I don't have to think about it. I don't, and then sometimes they'll be like, oh, you can't make this ammo. And it's like, well, why can't I? And then you're looking through all your stuff. No, like, I know, like, if I can't, it's because that one ingredient's gone and I can replenish it. It's just a tighter way to segregate your resources so you don't run out of them based on, like, the fuel.
right.
You're saying the fuel, but like, I have a fuel box that's got water, hydrogen bottles, pentaxid pellets, and so I know if I go and I start making hydrocell, it's going to make it as quick as possible because it doesn't have to craft the pellets. It doesn't have to craft the hydrogen bottles. Like, those are already there.
Yeah, I kind of did that. I did kind of that. So like I have like all these Promethean pellets in there at least. But yeah. Well, I'm trying to think of what else I should be doing here. So I got some gold, so that's cool. Oh, I gotta get that processing. Oh yeah, I could dump it into the yeah, furnaces can do gold too, can't they? My big thing that's still screwing me up. If I started with the space station, I would have been totally cool with it, right? But I started with the Macar. I moved into the Macar. I lived there for so long. Now I'm trying to try to move into the space station a little bit, but it's like I like the Macar because I can move it, and it kind of does all the same stuff except for the furnaces.
Yeah.
And the amount of it.
Yeah, honestly, like, I think the move would be to move everything to the station and then just rebuild the Macar. Like, literally go and mine.
Rebuild it.
No. Like, mine for the Macar. So go out there and just mine new stuff and throw it in the Macar. And then that way you've got... Because honestly, when you go... What are you using the Macar for? You're using it to take your CV to combat? So
I use it for everything. It is like... Yeah, if I'm going to go out mining, maybe I would take the Macar, but all other tasks, I'm taking the Macar. So it's like if I want to go hit POIs on a planet, I take the Macar. If I want to go to CV combat right now, I take the Macar. If I want to go mine the gold planet, I take the Macar. It's like I always take the Macar. It's like it is the cheapest form of transportation because it doesn't use fuel at this point, and it can carry a lot of crap. And so I just take the Macar. Plus, it's got its own production area and enough of that and stuff, So yeah, I don't know. I just a lot of Macar. I just kind of use it for everything.
Yeah, we had a big admin meeting. Was it Monday? Sunday? Sunday. Yeah, we had a big admin meeting. Forward facing for season 10.
Okay.
We're kind of in the preliminary discussions of season 10. So, not that season 10 is happening anytime soon, guys. But we're still very much in season 9. So. But we are discussing Anvil content, all that good stuff. So pretty excited about some new stuff that we're talking about doing. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Because previously, like when RE1, we had RE1, but then we had a lot of Anvil specific stuff. So Blade Collective faction. New OPVs to fight, bases, all that stuff was all Anvil, right? Like all the POIs, and none of that stuff's in the game right now. So season 10 will have a lot of that stuff again. And yeah, it's exciting, dude. Gonna be good. I'm not gonna say anything else. I don't want to get in trouble, but kind of good stuff.
Oh,
New
sounds
stuff.
cool.
New stuff.
So, playing Imperium, what's your favorite part of the game? I mean, when you're playing it, when you're the most into it, what's your favorite part?
Warning, threat detected.
Oh, I guess it's mining. I guess it's like mining, to be honest. Like, and I don't just mean like going out and hitting asteroids. I mean building a ship that does all of that and has the cargo and the ability. Like when I'm in this MUT, that's probably the most fun I'm having.
Yeah. Okay.
I think so, yeah. And that's just evident from the fact that I've built a new one of these the past every season. I think every season I've had this ship in some form since the Bludgeon. So maybe season 1 or 2. This, yeah.
Mining. Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah, it could be the same. I think me like early game, I have a lot of fun, like the initial build up. Trying to get your first home, your first this, your first that, your first flying ship, your first whatever. But yeah, once you get it all, then it's like obviously we're meant to be push on into drone space, legacy space, all this stuff. And this part, it's I'm not into it as much. I think at this point, it's I was probably more engaged early game, like for the first 10 15 hours, I would say. Believe it or not, it's like it's just fun for me on a lot of these games to get the startup. Like you crash land on the planet. It's like you start. It's kind of like Icarus. When you start a new mission in Icarus, it's like, hey, I need everything. It's like you're kind of starting over in a way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I got you. So for me, I don't like the beginning of this game at all. You guys know that. I hate the beginning of the game. All right, that's my cats. For seriously, guys. All right, hold on. Sorry, they knocked down something. Yeah. The
Dude,
really
you have
sense.
how in the hell you have 849 heat exchangers? How did you do that?
Yeah, I have an auto miner on it's a planet close to it. There's a planet is it a toxic moon? I've got like 2 auto miners on heat exchangers.
You can auto mine heat exchangers?
No, dude, those were given to me. I didn't get those. Yeah, those are given.
Oh, I'm like, I've never seen a
That's what I'm saying.
exchanger.
So, yeah.
Well, yeah, like 849 of them. Holy crap, dude.
It's
Okay.
I don't even know what they're for. I haven't even used any of them yet. So I don't
Oh,
even know what they're for.
If you want to build the biggest plasma turbines, you need like 14 a piece or something like for it.
Oh, okay, yeah. I've already got that. I don't really. I see the benefit of the turbines definitely for like your Makar kind of ship or your base, I guess, if you're on a regular base. But I don't. Yeah, for combat, I don't really see the point of it. I guess if you don't want to have a big generator, maybe you could supplement somehow. But yeah, I don't see the benefit of it for like a lot of the ships I have. Like I see it for a ship that I want to leave on because of a garden, but other than that, I don't. Like just make fuel, make a lot of fuel. Like you know what I mean? Like it's all relative. Like if you're able to make fuel on a large scale, then it doesn't really benefit you to conserve fuel. It doesn't really take much to make fuel, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I guess. I don't know. To me, it's just neat. If I can
It's
get
cool.
like
I love the look of them and stuff. But
negative power consumption, like it, and especially if you're not playing online all the time and you're on a server, and I can set up whole batch of production before I leave, and then I come back and my ship's fully fueled and the grow plots are still alive and everything's cool and I didn't burn through fuel for like a day and a half when I wasn't playing. So yeah, I gotta dig that. Now I'm really digging it because I can fly around and I'm negative energy when I'm flying around, like actually flying the CV around. So I didn't even know if that was possible. So I know it is possible, and it gives me ideas for new ships.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I just don't. I mean, it's okay. It's cool. It's just, it's not really, it's not something I'm chasing, I guess. It's the negative fuel. Like, for a combat ship, like, if I'm not using any fuel, like, that's cool. Don't get me wrong. It's cool that that's a thing. Because if you could just go out and make fuel, it's like, well, in real life, you'd go like, yeah, like clean energy is better than burning fuel. But in a game, it's like, I mean, I could just go mine an asteroid and get.
True. Yeah, you got a valid point.
But if it is hard to do some of those tasks based on time and stuff, you don't have a lot of time in game. You don't want to spend a lot of it chasing fuel all day. I totally understand that. But if you have a system, like I have a good system in place to make fuel, so I haven't been chasing conservation of fuel. Now, if I had a Helios with a big garden or whatever, and I needed to keep it online when I'm gone, absolutely. Like, that's where that comes in. But it's like, I have an RTG that's just sitting in a box. I haven't even put it in anything. Can't really think of anything.
Okay. Well, I started up 3 more large plasma turbines now, so I'll put those in the main car, and I could build technically another 4 for the space station too. Wow.
Well, the station's not already running negative, or?
Oh, it is. Well, it depends how much production you got going on. I mean, to me, it's kind of like I'm learning too. I'm trying to figure out what it's going to take to use 0 fuel for production, and can you? Yeah, I had this question: could you build a ship that had one little dinky generator? You still got to have a generator even if you have plasma turbines. But have the ship basically run for free the whole time, and you could fly it around. I mean, that was another question I had that I have an answer to now. So, yeah, it can be done. I didn't know if it could be done or not.
What's an ancient data relay? Is that what you were talking about?
Probably, yeah.
There's gonna blow up. Am I gonna lose my ship?
No. If you get there, you should see 4 sides. Each side has either 3 or 4 switches on it. Get them in the right order. It'll put up an LCD on that side of the thing. But you have to go fast. Go like one side, the other side, other side, other side. Bam, you get all 4. And then the center opens up and those loot boxes in there where you can get some data pads and things.
What? I don't know. There's a bunch of generators on this thing. Like, what is that all about? What is it, a million little...
I couldn't say on that one. But does it have switches on the outside hull somewhere? On 4 sides of it, levers.
I don't think this is the same thing because I just looted a box and that seems to be the only. Encrypted data chips.
Yeah, those.
What do you do with those?
Yeah, you turn them into the UCH thing. You get some skill points. I think.
I didn't have to do anything. I just went in there and looted the box.
Oh, well, you're supposed to have to do something.
Oh, blast door bug. Okay. Well. Sorry, guys. Jane, unless he has Helios module is very. Yeah, I mean that. So for stuff like that, the Helios, the garden stuff, that's where that fuel thing is. And honestly, the only reason that's a thing is because of the game. Being on a server. Like if we were playing single player, I don't think fuel conservation would ever be a thing at all. It's like, it's not like you're gonna craft when you're out of the game because it's single player. Your game stops. So there's never an issue. Our issue was always that we would be in server, we would have our CV, we'd leave it in orbit or whatever. We'd have a garden and we'd come back and it would be dead. Fuel ran out. And, somebody was in the playfield and because even if I set a craft in my base and I leave the server and nobody else is in the playfield, it won't just craft. It'll wait until somebody's back in the playfield.
Oh, okay.
So it's hit or miss. Like if you're, because, and that's another reason for you to live close to me, is as long as one of us is on, our crafting's crafting. You know what I mean? As long as that playfield is active, then it'll do what it needs to do. But if that playfield gets dumped, then it's not doing anything.
Okay. Okay. Well, yeah, still. I think why it got into my head so much is, or like other playthroughs too, is like we'd have a CV, we'd go out a game, we'd come back 2 days later, everything's dead, farms are dead, it's out of fuel, all the food rotted in the fridge, and it was like, trying to find a way to keep the ship operational for extended periods of time when you're not online, and that was the biggest thing. Now it's just like a challenge to see how much negative energy I can get. It's just, I just got to know now.
No, that's cool. I mean, it's a cool little mini game, right? Like, we haven't even done advanced solar panels. I think I saw some in your thing. Why don't you upgrade some of your solar panels? I see you got some solar cells in your input, or one of them I saw.
Oh, I forgot there was another tier above on solar panels. I totally forgot about that.
There you go. Make some advanced solar panels. And we haven't even messed with geothermal, but I just don't see a benefit to living on a planet. I don't see a benefit to a planetary base, to be honest. Like, explain to me why I would want to live on a planet, not just live in orbit. Like, there's almost, I can't even really think of a benefit to live on. Oh, advanced solar panels are not in RE2. Okay, I take it off. Why do we have solar cells? Not a thing yet. I mean, there's lots of energy, but I mean, being in orbit and being close to the sun, and I mean, that's just so much easier than worrying about a base on a planet. The other problem is approach. Every time I go to my base, I've now got to go into orbit, fly all the way to the planet, get on the planet to get to the base. Like, that's so much more time than just.
I would agree with you there. I mean, I like the idea of living on a planet, especially you could pick and choose planets and it's all neat and pretty and stuff. But there's just no point. It's too big of a galaxy. It's too hard to get back there. It's too much time. And I mean, if we spent a lot more time on the planet before we ever went to space, I would have a lot more reason for like a legit base. Like say the first month of playing this game, you were on your starter planet, and you had that much stuff to do on your starter planet before you even left. Then I would see a base, But yeah,
well, it's like in Space Engineers, like having a ship in orbit and being able to remotely connect to like a drop ship, right? So there'd be ships that would have like these cargo drop bays or whatever, and you would detach it from the ship, and then the passenger, the pilot, the co-pilot, could pilot that thing all the way to the base on the planet while remaining on the ship in orbit. So you know what I mean? That's where that creativity comes, and it's like, oh my god. So imagine if that was an Empyrean. Imagine if I had a ship like the Makar, and let's imagine I had a module like the Plutos or whatever, or some kind of whatever, the Apollo, or the Janus or whatever, and I had it full of cargo, and I needed that cargo to go to my planetary base where I could process it and craft and do all those things. Imagine you flying. I'm the pilot. You're the co-pilot. You connect to the Janus, and you remote pilot that thing all the way to the base, and drop the cargo and come back, and then we go again. Like that. Oh, right. That's awesome gameplay, and you could do that in Space Engineers. Like that's and that's honestly, it's just 2 blocks. It's not even like a big deal. Those are blocks that we should have in the game anyway. Is a remote pilot block and a camera block. Because that's all you do. You just put a camera where you would have your first person view, and you have the remote block in place of the cockpit. And then you're able to remotely connect to that camera and pilot it. I mean, we did that. You saw that when you and me played.
Oh, yeah. Oh, dude, when they came out with the Dark Faction DLC, that's what I thought. There was that opening little teaser video before it came out.
The cameras?
yeah, I thought that they were adding that functionality to the game, and I was so excited about it.
I would have bought, dude. If they just made a camera block DLC, they would have made more money than Dark Elf stuff. Definitely.
Dark Elf stuff.
They would have. I mean, so now I guess somebody was saying something about something new. So they're working on the DLC, and now they've made a way that you can. What is it? It's like freezing a ship and boarding. It's some new thing they're adding to the DLC only, where you can freeze and board an OPV.
Oh yeah, I heard. Yeah, you brought that up on the last stream a little bit there.
Still don't understand. Yeah.
It sounds like it could be cool. Well, yeah, they also said, or the Xerox could freeze your ship and then have like a boarding party. So all of a sudden that spawns in like bad guys onto your ship, and then you got to run around on foot and shoot them.
See, my problem with that is they still haven't fixed base attacks. Like the Xerox don't move right, or any of them, whatever. Whoever's base attacking, they all huddle up in a corner. Like it's not. It's cheesy. Like they haven't fixed the pathing or anything. So for them to do that without fixing the pathing of the, I don't know, it's messy to me. But I get it. They want to add things to the DLC that people would want. Tracked. No, an OPV can freeze and board you. Okay, so that just sounds annoying. That sounds like I'd be annoyed. What if your ship? Okay, what if your ship is just a cockpit, like it's just a bridge, and it doesn't have any other internal pathways? What happens then? They all just spawn on your bridge and kill you? Yeah, I don't know. Meh. Done some good mining though. I got a lot. Mini. Want to see what this is, guys, and then we're gonna go. Gotta get back in the gym, dude. I haven't been to the gym in 5-6 months now. It's been a long time.
Oh yeah. More gyms. Well, back when I was into that more, my gym was basically like the living room, and I'd do some sit-ups and some push-ups, and then if I wanted some cardio, I'd go play some drums. Yeah, there you go.
All right. Oh, I guess the foot pedal. Do you like change feet? Like, how are you?
Oh yeah, I mean, if you're playing drums for a while, you get a lot of exercise doing that, you know. Or go out disc golfing or something, you know.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. I want to try that. I've never tried that before.
No, it's fun. Yeah, those discs that you throw, they do fly different than a traditional frisbee, though. It takes a little to get used to, but once you get used to some things and how to throw them and all the different varieties of them and stuff, yeah, it's fun. It's like playing regular golf.
I've done some. I've done a lot of frisbee stuff. I use like the hollow frisbees before. I can throw boomerangs and stuff, so I'd probably catch something. Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things that you know, I was playing probably disc golf for 20 years. So, I mean, yeah, when I first started out though, I mean, yeah, your distance goes up when you go out to a course. Some of these holes are pretty long. They're like 500-600 feet long, around trees, and get to know how to like angle your disc so it'll arc at a certain point and like down and curve around this. Yeah, it's just fun. Another great thing about disc golf, especially where I live, at least, maybe it's not the same case everywhere, but it's just free. You can just go buy a disc and go to, like, I think there's probably 15 different disc golf courses around town. So it's like, yeah, just go to a course and play. That's it.
Because golf's expensive, dude. I used to play golf in high school, and dude, like, I never had good clubs. Like, dude, golf is so expensive. Like, if you want like proper clubs, Not even just clubs, but like everything. The bags, the shoes, there's so much to it, and I was pretty good actually. I was pretty good. I'm a lefty, so it's like weird, but yeah, it was pretty good. But yeah, I haven't played since then. So same kind of thing, though, right? Like, got a curve and everything.
Yep. All right, so my ship sitting idle now. Oh, hold on, I got to turn off the thrusters yet. Sitting idle, just like nothing going on, but the lights are on, right? So negative 10.7 kilowatts. Woohoo!
Nice.
So yeah, I can fly around for free. I can do production while flying around for free. And I should never have to probably ever put fuel in this thing ever again. It's
awesome.
Yeah, well, thanks for the heat exchangers. Now I've got a full set of turbines now. Pretty geeked about that. It was it was a goal. It was a goal. It's something I wanted to do. Plus, I got the RTG in here too. So, yeah, turbines and RTG. I still didn't quite hit what Thursday did. He had 2 RTGs. I only have 1. Other than that, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you want, dude, you can grab the other one out of my box if you.
No. That's that's yours. Put it in something you care about.
All right. I don't know. Probably just sit there the rest of the season, to be honest. I can't think of anything I would put in there.
Oh, even put it in your base or your space station or something. It still uses 5,000 CPU, so it's not like free on CPU or anything, but
yeah, but like again, like I just feel like that stuff's way more important for like the they care about fuel.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty happy about it in late game. It's a goal. I mean, like I never have to worry about like I'm out flying somewhere and oh no, I ran out of fuel and there's no Prometheum asteroids nearby. It'll never be a thing because I'll never stop being able to fly. Just
yeah. I got you. Makes sense. Yeah, for me, so Barbarian says I worry that any fancy new mechanic will not be. I've said this years ago. They just need to stop. Just stop developing the game. Just fix bugs, but like stop adding new things. Because yeah, I just feel like the game's been around over 10 years, right? And like it's done what it's done. The only game I could think of that blew up way late into their development is 7 Days to Die. And even then, I feel like 7 Days to Die, it peaked and then it, it's kind of, it's big now. I mean, obviously it's full release now. But the past couple patches, it did blow up. It got really high numbers, like as far as these multiplayer games or whatever go.
oh, that's cool.
But with Empyrean, I feel like the more they're trying to add, the more they're like new bugs crop up, and I feel like there'll be one bug that just kills the game or something, and it's like I really don't want that to happen. Like I would just rather and then just release the mod pack and let us take over. And then it's on us. It's like if you make something and I get that they still have to. You still have to patch it. I guess what I'm saying is stop adding new things. It's a full release game. Stop modifying the game to where it changes everything. Because the other part of that is the building part of it. It's I'd imagine there's probably still some kind of a vanilla build community in the game. I don't know for sure, but I'd assume there probably is. And big changes like that affect builds, right? I guess vanilla builds don't get affected like.
Well, yeah, basically I look at it as they've got, I mean, if we were to nitpick every bug in here, there's probably 100 bugs in the game. I mean, all over the place, various little things and bigger things and stuff all over the place. Just about every independent video I've seen on this game from some random reviewer here and there usually comes up with the same thing. It's really, really janky, but there's some good content here, and the building's cool, but it's really janky. So if they could get rid of the janky, I think it would be a whole lot better. But to get rid of the janky, first fix up all these miscellaneous bugs of everywhere, and then you have to get a better FPS mechanics going on, better physics, better lighting, texturing, FPS, the whole ball of wax. I mean, just so many things that could take a game like this and make it a little more mainstream, but also it has to be a lot more easier to get into as a new player than what it is. It's confusing and but that's not really fair to say because I have not tried to play vanilla in a long time. So I'm lacking that on, like, if I was a brand new player just playing vanilla for the first time, would I figure out what the heck's going on, or would it be like have to go up on the internet and try to figure out how to play the game?
Yeah, I mean, the other part of this too is depending on when you get into a game really affects a lot of that as well, because you have your own play arc, right? So I've experienced this with 7 Days to Die. Like, I played a lot of that game in its earlier conception, a lot of it, to the point where I just don't have a huge desire to play it anymore.
I'm there with you, but I do want to play it some more. But yeah, keep on going. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, but I mean, when I say that, like, I do want to play it. I just, once I get in there, it won't be, I'll get to a certain point. I'll be like, all right, I'm good. I've done this a million times. I don't need to do this again. And that's the unfortunate thing, because I want to see some of that late game stuff. But by the time I get to late game, I'm completely done with it. Like, I don't want to play it. That's unfortunate. Yeah. So that's why I'm not like hardcore into Icarus, because I love Icarus. It's one of the games that have come out in the last 5 years that I think has done a phenomenal job at reading the room and understanding where they can fit in this survival crafting genre, because it's a very unique game in the way that it approaches survival and all that. Like, all of it, it's super unique. And there's a lot of it that I really enjoy. It has a lot of workbenches like Arc and stuff, but it doesn't do it in a dumb way. It does it in a really cool way. There's just a lot of it. And I could be playing that right now, but the problem is there's some aspects of the game that I have an issue with. And I know that they'll probably fix those issues at some point, but I don't want to burn out on the game before it does, and then I can't enjoy those features. So I'm chilling on it right now and just watching it, but I watch it every week to see what new patches they put in. They put in a lot of really cool stuff, but I'm just waiting,
Yeah, I haven't played that or followed their patches in a while, but I figure it'll be a pleasant surprise when I do get back into it eventually.
Absolutely.
My big thing with Icarus, the two things that I think I didn't like or that bothered me a little bit about the game, well, probably three things. One, I don't really like the building much in it, to be honest. It's like that, I don't know, very basic, simple, throw up the wall things, and I don't really dig that in any game. So, and then number two, it's just like animals that you're shooting and stuff, and it's like I want like another enemy faction of, like, I don't know, rebels or thieves or people that are trying to shut down your Icarus operation or something. I want some more gun action, shooty stuff. Beyond just shooting animals. I don't even want to shoot the animals on it, honestly. I mean, right. So, but that's all you shoot in the game, and it's like, it needs more than that. So, and then lastly is the transportation thing.
That for me is the breaker.
So, yeah, it's like, it's the planets are pretty big, and it takes a long time to get from point A to point B, especially if you're trying to carry stuff with you. And it's just like, I hate to say it, but it really needs to have some kind of portal system Maybe you build a portal in one base, you build a portal in another base, you can go between the two. And maybe you're limited to only a couple, 2-3 portals or something. But whatever.
Yeah.
I think the portals really work in Valheim, and I would hate to not have them. And Icarus doesn't have them, and that's kind of a problem.
See, I hate portals, but I that problem needs to be solved. But I think there needs to be some kind of automated cargo transfer system between bases. If you could do that, I'm fine to walk back to my base. But it's like I want to have a central base, and then if I have to travel to this other area with a base there, a forward operating base, I want to be able to gather in that base for maybe a couple days, a couple sessions. Once I've built up all the resources I could possibly want, I want to be able to send that cargo back to my main base. And then from there, I'm happy to walk or be on a MOA or something. The cargo transfer is the problem. There's a lack of cargo transfer in the game. And don't talk to me about the carts and the freaking mules and all. No, give me something more advanced that I can get later. I could, because otherwise the open world just doesn't work for me unless I have that. Now, missions are missions. That's totally different. You're only crafting what you absolutely need. But with the there needs to be some kind of cargo transfer. I'm okay to travel. The reason I don't like portals is you don't. I don't know. I lose the immersion. If I could just go from fast travel from one to it's like okay. So you're telling me that this aspect of the game is boring instead of making it interesting,
Well, like early game, like Fallout, that's another game where you can kind of fast travel around, right? It's a big map. It's really fun to explore, but it's like, hey, if I want to go down like 2 kilometers away and go do something and then come back, but I got to run all the way there, then run all the way back again, and say I got to do this multiple times. That's annoying. It's a time waster on my time spent playing the game. I love exploring new areas, going into places that I haven't been before. It's just I don't like that repetitive back and forth. You do it over and over and over again. In a portal, especially an item that you can build or something and put it in place. So you actually got to get the resources to build it, blah, 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 and set up one portal here and one portal there. So it's not like super easy. But once you got it, I mean, it'll save you a lot of time. And then you got the motivation to build the portal in the first place. And then you're still exploring new places, the places you haven't been. You obviously can't portal there. But when you got to go back, it's just now, you're there, it's done. You don't have to run across the map again. And that's what I like about it. I hate wasting time. I just do.
I get that. I totally get that. My thing is to me, that's the game's fault. The way the game. So with a lot of these PvE, like crafty, survival-y things, when I think about a survival experience, right, I'm always going to think of like The Walking Dead or that kind of thing, right? So you think about The Walking Dead, right? The show. I don't know if you ever watched it, but
yeah, I have.
No spoilers or whatever. But they start out in their hometown. They gather their hometown. They progress. They build up. They leave. They go to the next town. They go to the next town. They do a lot of traveling. They end up whatever, right? So they end up in these different towns. But it's not that they're constantly going to these towns to re-loot. And that's all these games do that. They like replenish loot every hour. So it's like you never have to leave your town. That really goes against the immersion of survival. If I just constantly have to loot the same town over and over, that's going to get real boring eventually. And, what's the point, So then you get to that point where it's like, okay, I'm good now. I'm no longer surviving. I'm thriving. And now at this point that I'm thriving, now I'm going to go out and I'm going to explore. And now I'm all geared up and everything's easy. That is where I have an issue with survival games. If you could make it to where you are, you loot that, and then now that's looted. You're done with that town more or less. You need to move on. Now you're really getting that nomadic survival experience. And then let's say you get a vehicle. If 7 days, let's say the vehicles were really cool, where you can add a bunch of modules to them. You could change the way the vehicle is. I'm sure there's games out there that you could like modify a vehicle drastically. Like let's say I want to change the drivetrain on it. I want to put armor on it, do all these different things with it. Like Scum kind of, but way more advanced. That would be cool. Now I'm changing this. Let's say I find an old U-Haul and I want to convert that into like a living space. I can add a kitchen into that. I can add these different workbenches into this build. And now I'm nomadic, like a caravan or something. And I'm traveling from, let's say I have to drive 30 miles to get to the next town. I got to make sure I have fuel, I have food. If I have to stop early and camp and hunt to get food and do these different things. If marauders get to me, you know what I mean? I want that experience. I want to go to the next town, loot that, and now that's a big, long experience that I have to kill things, I have to do certain things, and then move on. That's what I want. I don't want to be able to go back to the same town and loot. All these games have it. 7 days. It's because they can't make the map big enough to have enough lootable area for multiplayer.
Well, most of these games, again, you need a base. You need a place to store stuff. And you got to be able to get back to that base. So, I mean...
but that's what I was explaining the vehicles. We need some
well,
kind of
if you could have a mobile base, like what you're explaining, that's different. That's different. You that's kind of what the Maykara is in this game to me. It's my mobile base. But, like, if you had, like in 7 Days to Die, you can't build a mobile base, so you got to go back home and drop stuff off. And if you're on the other side of the map, it's just a lot of time,
so that's what I'm saying. That that's where survival games get messed up. Is they either make it so you can stay in one town, re-loot the town to survive infinitely, and have a base, or you have to do that whole rubber band thing where I go to the next city and then I move back, and then I go to the next city and I move back, and it's like maybe I have a vehicle with a little bit of storage. But then that gets real repetitive. I don't want to do that over and over. Or you can have a game that's truly nomadic, which I think is the best thing, and you just move on. You move on to the next area.
And you can do that. You just got to have a game that you can have a mobile base, a base to get around in, and that's cool too. And if you don't have a mobile base and it's a really big map, you got to have some kind of teleporter, fast travel, or something going on. Otherwise, it's just too much. I don't know. It's just bad. I've been in things before too, where it is fun to just run around everywhere, but I like to run like that crazy modded version of Minecraft that I absolutely love. I got that's set up so you can put in portals anywhere you want, and it doesn't even cost you anything, and you need it. I mean, I can't even imagine playing that game without it. It would be like, oh my God, you mean every time I go to the moon, I got to build a brand new rocket and launch all the way up there with all the fuel and the stuff and the spacesuit and blah, blah, blah. And then I got to like build another rocket from the moon to get back to the planet. No, I can just say, no, I want to go back to my base right now. Boop, I'm there. And I love it. But you're always exploring, always moving forward and exploring new places and stuff. So it's just cool. It's just, you can go back whenever you want and you don't have to screw around anymore. Same thing why Diablo games have ton portals. It'd be horrible if it didn't. I mean, you're in the middle of the dungeon. I agree. You're in the middle of the dungeon. Your backpack's full. It's like, well, I guess I just threw out everything I just picked up because I don't feel like spending 15 minutes to run back to my base on the other side of the map now.
Yeah, but so for Diablo, if you had like some kind of a, I don't know, like those like old timey like horse and carriage kind of situation. If you had a horse and carriage that basically had the same storage chest in it, you could do that too. But so for that game, it's different because once you loot an area, that area is done, right? Like in Diablo, like it's not like you can go and re-loot it again.
It's not that. Yeah, you can. It's not really that way. It just respawns all the monsters after a little bit, and you get the loot from the monsters. So, So, I don't know. It's just basically I don't like games that waste the player's time doing mundane traveling over and over and over and over again. It just drives me nuts.
Yeah, I agree. I agree that that's the way that they figured out how to fix that. The problem is it kills the immersion.
It can affect that, but the number one aspect I look for in a game is the fun factor, not the immersion. So, I mean, immersive games are cool, but I will play a game that I consider fun well beyond any immersive game. So like Star Citizen, probably pretty darn immersive. But I'm playing I'm playing all these other games that are way less immersive, because of the fun factor.
No, it's true. It's got to be fun. It can't be overly tedious. And like Star Citizen is one of them where it's like, unless I don't know, dude. You got to be a special person to solo that game 12 hours a day. But if you're playing with friends, it could be fun regardless. Even if you don't get anything done, it's still kind of fun because of the immersion of it. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you want to also progress and do the grind and everything. It can be very tedious, buggy. And yeah, I don't think there's a game not too many games that have really figured that out. I would say Raft, oddly enough, is one of them. I don't know if you ever played that Raft, that cartoony.
No, I haven't. It looked really, really cartoony, and it kind of was like I didn't.
Bro, you and me would have a good. So I've played that with other people in the community, like Obsidian, and a lot of people have it. Me and Vermilion have played it. Like, it's a fun game if you've never played it, and there's a lot to it. Actually, it's one of those weird games that's like oddly in depth.
Oh, that's cool.
So you start out with a one block raft, and you gotta grab scrap out of the water, and you're constantly moving. And you just grab things and you make things. So you make a water purifier, you make a campfire, and then you get fish and you cook the fish. You do the water. Once you do that, you build up the raft a bit more. You get water catchers on the outside that can grab the scrap automatically, so you don't have to. You start building up. You craft more things. You build the raft bigger. Sharks attack your raft. You find islands. You dive underwater to mine copper and iron and stuff, and eventually
it sounds fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and it's co-op. It's very co-op friendly. It's very easy to play, and it's a blast. It is a blast. And that game is nomadic. You never really go back to the same place twice. It's not like you build a base on an island or move around like Stranded Deep. You're constantly moving. Now, that's cool. Yeah, once you get the radios and you get the satellite link stuff, then you can figure out where to go and get to the bigger POIs and the bigger islands. There's whole city islands and stuff now.
Oh wow!
You can actually herd animals on your raft and collect milk, and it's very, very in depth, and it's very cool. It's like the style of it is really cool. You get into it.
That gives me an idea. Even this game, obviously, it's got some aspects of that, right, too. But like this game, you build a CV, right? And the CV can be used as your base. And then you can travel the galaxy, stop at all these various planets, but you always got your CV there. So your base is always close. So you never have a transportation problem going across the galaxy back and forth all the time. So, even if a game like this, imagine another survival game that was a space oriented one where you have your capital vessel and you start with the little thingy and then you just keep building it up like you would in Raft. But instead of just sailing around the ocean, you're going to all these different planets and all kinds of stuff. But you always got your place with you that you're always making better and upgrading and stuff.
Yeah, so that's your raft, and it goes with you. That's the cool thing. It's like it goes with you. So going back is never a thing.
I like that solution, and that would be a good solution for not needing portals and things in a game like that. It's a one way around it.
Same thing with Star Citizen. Eventually, in 10 years when we're way older.
Dude, I was so into Star Citizen when it was announced for the first 4 years. I was following all their news and information. They had some kind of shipbuilding contest. I kind of watched all those. I was really into that. And I don't know what happened. After about 8 years of paying attention to Star Citizen, I just oh my God, they still don't have the single player thing out yet. And I don't know.
It's out now.
That single player campaign thing is out now.
Yeah.
Out now. Yeah. My dad liked some kind of shooting games, flying World War two airplanes and shooting things and stuff like that. So a while back, a long time ago, actually about 10 years ago, I bought him Star Citizen. You know, it was being developed, and he was following it for a little bit, and then it was just like he just wanted to do that. He wanted to fly around and shoot at things in space, and I was like, yeah, you know, these spaceships they fly a lot like World War II fighters, you know, close range combat and things like that. Because he didn't like the modern jet fighter games because you don't even see what you're shooting at. So yeah, but now it's just like 10 years later, and it's like this is way too much game for my dad, who is totally not into it anymore anyway. So it's just like, yeah, it's, I don't know.
The majority of, if you ask me about Star Citizen right now, in my head, the only thing I'm envisioning is spawning into a hab and walking to where I load into my vehicle. That is by far 80% of the gameplay I've done in Star Citizen over the span of 7-8 years. Like that's, I've done nothing else more than that. And that's
I you know, I checked it out with you once when I crashed one of your ships. Yeah, I was like, I was at some foreign place. I'm just here. I have no idea where I'm going. I don't even know how to navigate from one end to the other or what I'm supposed to do. And it's just like, I'm just like, I have like literally no idea what's going on here. You know, it's like,
takes so long though. That's the thing. It just takes so long to get going. Like I'll get on and I'll be like, okay, I'm going to go mine on a planet with my prospector. And then I'm going to turn that in. I'm going to refine it. And I can't do that in less than 5 hours. Like, yeah, I just can't even do it. Like, I'm going to blow up once, probably. Something's going to happen. I'm going to desync something. And I just, yeah, it's just too much for what you get out of it as a solo. Now, as a group, like, that's what I always wanted to do, is have the Argo Mole, go out as a group, mine, make money. Just, if I could just do that on a weekend, I would have a blast, you know? But it's just too tedious.
Yeah, that was my impression of it. Like Elite Dangerous was a little more to the point because you weren't walking around space stations and stuff. You just fly up and you got the menu and you just do whatever you need to do. So that part's cool. But I got into trading, flying here, flying there, warping here, and it's slow on the interplanetary stuff. And I just do that. I did that, like, I made a bunch of money, like $1 million over the course of a couple of days doing this really good trade route. And I was just like, I didn't want to play it anymore after that. I'm just like, God, this is boring. And then so I picked up a mission to do some combat. But I thought, well, could you just send me to the point and I'll go shoot up the ships. I'll come back. I'll turn it in and, you know, be all done. But no, it's, you got to wait for a certain time. You got to do this. You got to check this. You got to do this radar scan. You got to get over here. You got to do that. You got to do this other thing. And it's just like, oh my God. So even this turns into like this massive, like 3-4 hour thing. And I just want to go shoot like a couple ships up. And it's like, it's just too slow, man. Maybe if I was younger, had a lot of time just to sit and do that.
Well,
but not now. I want things to happen faster.
So that's a unique thing for Star Citizen, though, is that the vision of the game, I think, is that eventually it's not that you're going to be starting at New Babbage every time you get into the game. Eventually, you're going to have your fleet, you're going to have your big ship or whatever with smaller ships in it, and you're going to be off in BFE somewhere. And let's say, hey, I'm doing a big mining operation on these couple planets. Your main ship might be out there in that orbit for months, real time. And you log in, you're like, oh, I'm in the middle of doing this mining system. And all that's fine. Like, it's not an issue because your main ship, your CV or whatever you want to call it, is right there. So that whole getting in the ship, calling it, like, you're not really doing that anymore towards the end of the development of this thing because, as long as your ship hasn't blown up or somebody hasn't attacked it, it's there. You're sleeping there. That's your base. But right now, that's not really a realistic thing. It's like, I've logged out on my ship and then I've logged in and I'm back at New Babbage and I got to do it all over again. It's like, I thought these racks worked now. I thought I could just log out and log right back in where I left off. So once that becomes a thing, I think Star Citizen will become a lot better because...
so like, say I have a ship in the game and I go fly to whatever planet. I land somewhere, and then I'm like, oh, time out. So I'm out for the day. So I log off. Then when I come back in, you're saying I got to start back over at the space station, go get the ship, and go fly there again.
Kind of, yeah.
Ugh.
Right now, that's kind of how it is. Like, supposedly not, though. But I couldn't figure it out last time I played. I'm like, this doesn't work. Like, I've logged down the rack. I've done everything I can to figure that out, and it just doesn't. I always end up back at New Babbage with my prospector, having to reclaim it and all this crap. And then, God forbid, when it comes full release, and now you need insurance to even get your vessel back, that's going to be another nightmare. It's like, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, for such a big, expensive game development, and I think it was over 500 million, long over that, I think, actually. But man, I don't know, man. I wouldn't think that would appeal to that many types of players out there.
Yeah. I think that there's no game that has better mining. I love mining in that game. It is infinitely satisfying. Once you get it going, like it takes a lot. You got to really, like, I'll go in there every couple years and I'll have to relearn everything because I forget, and it changed a lot. But it is, if you're into mining, it genuinely is a fun game. Like, if you and me had an Argo Mole that has 3 different drills on the ship, right? Each person can individually man those drills, and then you can customize the drill. It's given the drill heads, all these different things, and like, that could be you and me. Like, hey, let's go do a mining expedition. So for a stream, we're in that game for 3 hours. We're mining. We're going to the refinery. It's satisfying. And then when we're done, we're done. And then we log back in, and we're right back where we left off. If you move the ship and go off somewhere, I should still be sleeping in my rack, and I can get up and, you can walk around the
definitely.
ships. Everything that we want in this game is in that game except for the shipbuilding. But
Right. Well, that's a big hit there too.
I know, but
especially for a builder.
well, what I'm saying though is yes and no. Like, you love the Hercules, right? You built one that looks like a Hercules.
Loosely, very
Yeah.
very loosely.
Sure, but what I'm saying is that's the biggest cargo ship in the game, I think, right now. I could be wrong, but back then it was. But imagine that. Imagine, like, owning that ship and being able to go out and do these cargo missions, and everything that is in this game, Empyrean, is the vision for that game, but just on a way more epic scale. So POIs, bounty missions, mining, salvaging, all that stuff is progressively in that game, or going to be in that game. So
Right. Yeah, I mean, a lot of that stuff sounds cool. Like the some of the missions, POIs. I like to do POIs. I mean, in general games, like even this game, it's like I like to check out the POIs and go in there and shoot some stuff up or whatever. That's fun.
Yeah.
But man, imagine Star Citizen, right? Or a game like it. But instead of like all these super fancy, crazy psycho models that they go through a lot of work building these ships and stuff for the game. But imagine if it was just like this game where it's all voxels. It wouldn't be as pretty, obviously, but you could still get it to look pretty good. And then you could build all the stuff in the game while playing the game. And to me, it just adds so much more to the game. Yeah, I would
Space Engineers kind of deal.
Yeah, like if Space Engineers did a lot more, I dig that idea. Like even No Man's Sky, I love No Man's Sky. If you could build, if you could build like Imperium like creations in No Man's Sky and use them, that would be cool. I really dig it. I mean, there's other aspects with No Man's Sky that I don't love, but I'm just saying, it's just I don't like the prefab where you buy the ship, and it's cool that you can upgrade them a little bit. But man, once you experience like this, being able to look at get some idea of something, and then like sit down and work it out and build it, make it work in the game.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen that. You haven't been able to really do that in any other game besides maybe like Space Engineers or maybe even Starship Evil. But it's just, a lot of those big games out there are lacking that. And I don't like the card house building mechanics very much. And that's what I would consider like Icarus, and a lot of those is just, when you're just putting up a wall prefab and and a rough prefab. To me, that's just like you're just stacking cards up. There ain't much to it. I mean, and I don't get into it. It's not deep enough to be like a thing to want to build in, you know? So that's why, like, even Icarus, I never really tried to make anything look nice, or I didn't really care, you know? But if it was like voxel by voxel, building up the whole place and making it fancy and super customizable and psycho with all kinds of weird angles and stuff, yeah, that's a whole different story.
Yeah, you can do that in Icarus, but it's a very I mean, if like I said, if you look at some YouTube videos of builds in Icarus, like you'd be shocked at how beautiful.
I've seen some of them, but it's still
I know what you mean.
It's nothing compared to what you see in Imperium. I mean, nothing, not even close. I mean, so yeah, and it's real hard. Icarus doesn't have the right building tools to do things right, like rotate stuff properly and things. It's I don't know. I haven't found one that I thought has a really good mechanic yet with putting that stuff together. It just always seems like every game feels like it's off. My second favorite building game is probably Valheim, though, because that's a little bit different. A lot more stuff you can do with it. But you're restricted to building non-moving structures only. I mean,
Yeah, I think. Well, I don't know. For me, obviously, Empyrean and then Space Engineers. I don't even know what would be another. I guess. Well, no. You know what? It'll be Empyrean, and then Rust, and then Space Engineers. Then then it'd have to be like Interstellar Rift or something. Starship Evo. I don't really have experience in it.
right, yeah.
Also, Scrap Mechanic, but that's a weird one. It's very
Yeah. There's that other one I keep on wondering about too. I can't think of the name of it though. You build like Lego cars that work. And you drive
I know
around.
what you mean. I have that too. Fuck, I don't know.
Yeah.
I own it. I've never played it. I don't know.
It looks neat. You know, you can build all kinds of. You can build flying contraption, wheeled contraptions, and you have a base, and have to go out and get resources and shoot up bad guys and stuff. They look pretty fun.
Well, you're talking about Scrap Mechanic as well. That's the same thing Scrap Mechanic is.
Yeah, it's similar to Scrap Mechanics, just it's
like
different name.
Terra
Something like that. Yeah, Terra World or Terra, I don't know, something like that. It looks interesting a little bit. Other than that, I'm probably not going to put this video out. I've recorded it, and I've been all over the place. I haven't really focused and done much of anything besides add some plasma turbines and mine a batch of gold. I probably won't have a video out on this one. It's just a waste of time. People watch unless they want to hear our conversation again.
That's fair. We didn't really do much. I needed to do some of this stuff. I hadn't done it. Now I've got some money at least. I've got Pentaxid. I'm making fuel.
Yeah, I made some fuel and stuff, and restock gold and put in furnaces. Yeah, actually, so the space station's kind of like mostly set up for complete operation now. But maybe I'll have to take you up on that idea of dumping all the contents of the Macar into the station and then refilling the Macar with new stuff. I just, the next thing, if I had a bunch of stuff I was saving up for to spawn in, it'd be a different story. I'd be like really motivated. But right now, it's like
you just have that legacy shit, man.
Yeah, which isn't done, and I don't exactly know what it's going to cost yet. But I literally brought in everything I wanted to bring in this playthrough already, and upgraded a fair amount of it. So now I'm just like, I don't have that motivational goal on, like, if I'm not trying to get resources for anything in particular, then what am I doing?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, that's what I don't get, where people continue to play and it's like, what's your goal? Like, what do you and I get it on paper, but when it comes to motivation with games, it's just getting worse as I'm getting older, which is scary. I find that I can't, once I'm done with the stream, I'm exhausted. I go and I lay down and it's like, I don't want to do anything until maybe around 9 o'clock. and then I'll get back on. But even then, it's like it can't hold my attention for more than.
Oh,
I
gotcha.
have a real hard time like staying focused. But again, it's a game that I've played 10,000 hours of or whatever, right? Like it's like, yeah,
I know.
no shit, you're done with the game and you're sick of it. But the only thing keeping me is obviously the new stuff and building. Obviously, like if it wasn't for building, like no, there's no way I'd still be.
Dude, I would have never been around this game ever, or we would have known each other if it wasn't for the building in this game.
Yeah, for sure.
Honestly, I mean, I would have never been online, or I would have never met you, because I would have never done anything. I would have played the game for a couple weeks when I first got it, and then shelved it. Probably never got back to it.
So what about Enshrouded? Wasn't that supposed to be like a big Valheim kind of other thing?
Yeah, I dig that game.
Okay, it's kind of done now, or?
Well, no, I was playing it with a friend, and we were. We're pretty deep into it. We were playing it for like 2 months, and then they kept on adding more. So we thought we were getting close to the end, but then there's like all this more content that was added. So we started doing that, but then we took a little sidetrack because it was starting to get a little bit boring at that point in time. And then we tried, another game. The other one that came out around the same time, Nightingale. So I was playing that a little bit because we haven't played it yet. Out of the two, I like Enshrouded better than Nightingale. And then, so it's kind of still sitting there. I kind of wouldn't mind getting back into Enshrouded's. It's an amazingly large game. I mean, there is a lot going on in there. And there's dungeons and there's all kinds of neat things. So, I mean, that one I dig. I think that's good. It's the best performing voxel game I've seen to date, performance wise too. It's got higher, like smaller voxels than this game does, but it can do the whole world in it with much better frame rate. So there is that too. But obviously, it's still different. The building in this game is shaped voxels, where that's like blocks. You can use smaller blocks, and you put certain blocks together, and it makes little different shapes. But I still prefer this whole like building in this game, especially when you can build things that work and move and stuff. It's the other game's not perfect, but it's pretty cool. I think Enshrouded's definitely a pretty cool game. Nightingale's not bad.
My wife's calling me. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay, I'll be right back. There's dogs down in my driveway, and they're trying to get out of the car. So let me.
Honestly, that's cool. I'm gonna sign off. It's 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 6 already. So you have yourself a good night, sir.
All right, cool, man. You too.
All right, adios.
Stream. I'll be right back. Hey, I don't get why I can't buy stuff. Why can't I buy these things? Why I don't understand that. Why can't I buy any of this? I could buy bandages, but I can't buy what? 75. I have credits. I don't what? Is this bugged or something? I'm so confused. Let me log out. Yeah, I will say I don't like the reusable aspects of the mining. I don't like that. I'm so confused right here. Like, why can't I buy any of this? Is it my standing with Polaris or something? But then I feel like I wouldn't even be able to talk to this guy. Why can't I buy from you? Oh, you have to use cash? Oh, okay. Is there an ATM? Like, that is huge. That's huge. Oh, it's Yeah, so being able to buy the kits, that's huge, man. Back here and just buy them all up. I was looking for like the robotics and stuff. Oh, that is one of you're right. Yeah. Ugh. You know what? This is a good stopping point, guys. We're gonna call it. So Friday, I'll let you guys know what we're doing Friday. One way or the other. I'll let you guys know what's up. But yeah, you guys have a good one.